Yo, we back. It's your man, Jay Adams. How's everybody doing? West Coast Heavies, West Coast Heavies TV podcast on the Biz Entertainment Network. You already know what it is. Tap in, like, share, and please don't forget to subscribe to that channel. Going places, doing things, man, doing things around the world. It's West Coast Heavies TV podcast, man, on the Biz Entertainment Network. Man, I can't tell you, man, living the dream, man. It's a beautiful thing, man, live and direct from Los Angeles, California. First of all, man, we want to send our love and prayers out to Cheeky Morris, man, and her family, man. We praying. We really don't know what's going on right now. She was going to be live and direct on location in Atlanta, but her son had to be rushed to the ER. And, man, she's just up in our prayers right now. What's up? Shirley Hill tapping in, man. Appreciate y'all, man, tapping in already to the show, man. So, Tribe, man, Biz Entertainment Nation, man. Y'all keep my co-host, man, up in your prayers, man. Cheeky Morris, man, we with you, man, in prayers and in spirit, man. But how was everybody's week, man? How was everybody's week last week, man? We hope everybody had a good week. We hope everybody's feeling great and feeling grand. It's your man, Jay Adams, man, on the West Coast Heavies TV podcast. We got coming up today, man, our interview with Cali Boy. Very excited about this interview, man. Been working on this interview for a while. Big ups to my homegirl, Denise, for making this happen, for making this plug happen. Just give you a little bit of history about how I met this brother. I've been working on this BET event for the celebration of hip-hop, 50-year celebration of hip-hop. This big multi-million-dollar project I've been working on with the City of Compton Community College. Big shout out to the professor, Harvey Estrada over there, President Curry, all the board members. Angels Clubhouse Empire, what's up with it? Appreciate you tapping in, showing support. We want to talk about what you got going on as well, and we're going to get to that. So back to Cali Boy real quick, man. I've been putting out these sponsorship decks, man, and Denise has been helping me out. And Cali Boy was one of the individuals that reached out and said that he wanted to be a part of what we're doing. So come to find out, man, he's done a whole lot. He's got as an artist, as a producer himself, doing radio, doing television, doing interviews all around the world about what he's doing and got going on with hip hop. Everybody talks about East Coast, West Coast. And I'm going to ask Cali, man, I want to get his opinion because that's what I'm doing on this show, man. I get down to the nitty gritty. I ask the hard questions and I really want to understand. I've heard so much. I know so many people who talk about West Coast, East Coast. We know where the heart of hip hop is, and the most of the credit is given to the East Coast, but we don't talk a lot about the West Coast. Cali Boy's gonna come on and do that. So, man, I'm really excited about that situation, man. Really excited about Cali Boy coming on. And we're gonna talk a little bit about what's going on with the BET event, give you guys some updates about that too. And so, man, last week, man, has been a very, very, very interesting week about everything that's going on around here. I got my artist, T-Tom the Lion, who's doing a lot over in Watts. Big shout out to Hugh Grant over there and the project he's doing with the kids in Watts, man. It's a lovely situation. Sometime in the future, man, we're going to bring him on the show as well to let you know what's going on in the community out here. We deal with everything that's heavy over here on the West, and then we also deal with what's going on down south, East Coast. I got people all over the country, man, that I deal with, as a producer, as a project manager, as a marketing expert. I deal with a lot of companies, not just music, but a lot of my relationships start on Angel, you crazy, man. I don't want to do all of that because I'm not really feeling how everything is looking today. Hi, you funny. But I'm gonna do that for you because I know why you said that. So dealing with the program in Watts, man, has been a very, very great thing. It's been something that I've been doing. If anybody really knows anything about me, I've been doing and dealing with the community since Yo Impact in Watts in 1997. So dealing with the youth, dealing with young people, man, it's always been a great thing because I really believe that the youth, they're our future. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, that's been a real focus of mine. So I'm very excited. T-Time may have time to come on today and talk about how that program went. They had a big program out there, man. So I really want to hear about that. And I really want to hear you guys' thoughts about what are you doing that's big in your community. That's a big question I ask everybody. You know, a lot of times we think about doing things for ourselves, but the big thing is, what are you doing in your community that's really helping other people? I had somebody ask me a question, so I wanted to talk about that a little bit. Somebody had actually sent me a question, and I get a lot of questions, and I just pick and choose. I can't answer everything, but I was asked about what does Jay Long, the entertainer, have coming up that's on the West Coast where we can see him live? Well, one thing I can tell you is what West Coast Heavies is working on with Mr. Jay Long, the entertainer, who gracefully was on our show last week. And like I told him, people have been asking for him. People have been wanting to know more information. So we've invited him back to the podcast. But there's a few shows that we're working on, probably moving closer to the summer now, because we're so caught up with BET that we had to put some events probably like to the side, you would say, because BET kind of like took like precedence of what we're doing. So we got some events that we want to attach Mr. Jay Long to. And as soon as we get more information on that, we'll also talk about that, about what he's got coming on. He's got some new music coming out as well. He's got some new photo shoots for this reality show that we're going to be pitching actually to Netflix and Hulu. But of course, you know how we do it on West Coast Heavies, man. We do everything in-house, independent first. You know, all my network friends, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate everybody that I deal with in the business. But as you know about me, you know, I always deal with things in-house. You know, I really like giving my own people opportunities first. And I have independent distributors. I have independent tech companies that can do the same thing that Amazon can do, the same thing that Hulu could do. They're just small companies. But I got to tell everybody, man, Amazon was once a small company. Netflix was once a small company. I remember when Netflix started. So a lot of my young tech people, like my boy Jay Davila with GQ.shop, you know, it's a small tech company, you know, but at the end of the day, his deal with IBM and what he's doing over there with IBM, you know, that's a major situation. So I like to give people that opportunity first. So the first place I'll be taking the West Coast Heavies TV podcast reality situation that I'm working on, I'll be taking that first to GQ.shop, and I'll be distributing it exclusively there and exclusively to the Biz Entertainment Network. I always funk with my people first, man. That's just the way my father taught me and the way my mother, you know, continued to raise me after my father passed. So I always believe in business, man. I deal with my people first, and that's just the way it is, you know. So I catch a lot of flack about that. I'll be honest with you, man. There's a lot of money I could be taking, and some people say, man, you crazy for passing up some of the money you pass up, but that just is what it is. So meeting new people like Jay Long, the entertainer, man, is really a dope situation. So I'm really glad. You can't even imagine how many years I've been working to really merge a lot of things that we got going on the West and a lot of things that they got going on down South. Because see, when you really reach out and network, man, and you talk to people, you really understand. And to me, man, it's very interesting about how they move out there and how they work together. You know what I'm saying? And I really believe in that phrase, is strength in numbers. So it's kind of like me working with artists again down South. You know, it's really close to my heart. You know what I mean? So it's like somebody like dealing with Jay Long again, man. And I just really grateful to our affiliate, man, down south, man, Cheeky Morris, man, for putting us in contact. And I'm very excited about these tours we're talking about doing, these venues we're talking about booking. It's just very exciting, man. So it's going to be an awesome situation for artists that I got out here on the West Coast to take them down south. You know, a lot of artists on the West Coast haven't experienced that, you know, and some artists who have gone out there have been done wrong by promoters and whatever they've gone through, man, they just have bad experiences. So it's going to be very good to actually have boots on the ground, actually have people there, and it's going to be an awesome thing, man. So, and then to be able to bring people from down south, man, to the West Coast, man, it's going to be a great thing, man. So we just got word in the studio that Mr. Cali Boy has pulled up. So we're going to be getting to that soon. Mr. Cali Boy is in the building. So I'm very excited, man, about what's going on. There's so many projects. I want to stop to say, man, that I need all my producers, man, all my people that I got events with or that I promote for or that I'm helping out, the different labels. It would really help me, man, if you guys start sending me your events like in the midweek, giving me a heads up, man, so I could talk about your events. Because, you know what I'm saying, I want to give everybody their shine and they love, man. So once again, we got Cali Boy coming up right now. We got Cali Boy coming up soon. Man, it's going to be a dope interview, man. I hope you catch it. If not, you can always catch it later on the Biz Entertainment Network. It's the West Coast Heavies TV podcast. I am your man, Jada Adams, man. Shout out to everybody, man. So like, share it, man. This is great information to share. It's a great network to share. Subscribe, become a member. There's a lot of exclusive content that being a member that you can get access to versus being a non-member you can't get access to. So what we've been building is very a great thing, man. So without further ado, we want to bring my boy Cali Boy, man. I'm very excited, man. I guys want you guys to give him a warm welcome to the Biz Entertainment Network, West Coast Heavies TV podcast, Nation Stand Up. It's my boy Cali Boy in the building, man. How you doing, brother? We can't hear you right now. Just unmute the mic. It's all good. No volume? Okay, go out and come back in. It might just be, yeah, just go out and come back in. So we're gonna bring him back up, man, because I don't want to tell you his resume and what he's got going on. I want him to tell you himself, man, because you know, when you talk to somebody and you've been texting and you've been hollering at somebody, man. See, this is why I love social media, man. I've met so many, brother, man, for real. I have met so many awesome people just as a promoter. You know, you guys understand, man. I go back to the days of printing out flyers and, you know, like I'm doing something right now with my boy Artress, man. Atris, man. Big up to y'all, man, and what y'all doing out there in these streets. You know, being a street promoter, man, back in the days, hey, man, carrying around all these flyers, man, I still get it out the mud. Don't get it twisted. But I love social media. And one thing big about social media, man, is you able to meet people, man, just right on this phone. You're able to meet people, man. You talk across the globe. But man, when I read this brother's resume, man, and I watched some promo clips he sent me, if we can get any of these clips played for you today, man, especially about this documentary, man, about West Coast hip hop, man. It was, you know, it's just amazing, man. You know, like back in the days, man, we didn't like to read, you know, and then when we got older at the end of the library days, you know what I'm saying, going to the library and getting that wealth of knowledge, man. But this internet, man, you know, people use it for evil, people use it for good, whatever, man. I use it for knowledge and information, man. And so being able to tap into people on this thing and being able to touch bases. So we got to figure out what's going on with the technology, you know. That's the thing about technology, man. You got the, you know, like I tell you, but you got to ride the wave of technology. You got the good, you got the bad. You know, some days it's good, Some days we have struggles, man. So let's figure out what's going on so we can get Cali Boy in here, man, because he got way too much good information for us not to get a bar of this. Okay, let's see if we can get this mic unmuted. Yeah, he can hear us, but we can't hear him. On your side, just make sure that at the bottom, the mute button is not hit. Next to the stop cam, just make sure the mute button is not hit. Yeah, it's still off. So yeah, we gotta try to figure out. Let me see. Yeah, if that mute button is unmuted, and we should be able to hear you. He says it's unmuted, but we can't hear him though.
Yeah, usually if he did he click out and click back in?
Yeah, he clicked out and clicked back in.
There's a delay going on. Oh, I think that might be his because it didn't do that. Ask me, is he going through Chrome, Google Chrome, or something like that? Because usually this asks if he's going through the actual. Okay, cool. Okay, I got you. And there is a delay. Ask me. Let me see this real quick. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me. Can you hear me? Am I doubling?
Nah, you're not doubling.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah, now you coming in. Yeah, he can hear us. But you're not doubling, Biz. I can hear you.
Okay. I had something else on. Okay. So the only thing is, I'm sorry. So the only thing is would be to actually, if you can, let's try to see if we can reload the link again. If you can reload it, but I know you're going through your phone. And there is a setting on the phone that lets you use the actual audio that you're going. There you go. And then there is a setting on the phone that lets you use the actual audio from your phone. Because sometimes it could be used from something else, or like if you have another app open or something like that, it could be using that. You know. But we're gonna figure it out.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
You can hear me now?
Yep, we can hear you. Can you hear? You can hear me?
There it is. Earth, we made it.
Earth, we made it, boy. This Saturday, we made it, man. Man, everybody, man, we got Cali Boy, man, in the building, man. Let's bring him in and welcome him, man. Cali Boy,
West Coast. What's up, y'all? How y'all feeling?
Baby. West Coast, baby. What's up with you, man? How you doing, man?
Hey, man, I'm trying to stay cool but not freeze, man.
But hey, you said it best, not freeze, man. Hey, man, you are a busy man. So I know you out here being blessed, man, and working hard, my brother. Man, I've had so many people, man, since I've been talking about this interview. Brother, I have had so many people ask me about you, man, and when we were going to actually do this interview, man. I'm so glad to have you on,
dope, man.
Man, can you introduce yourself, man, and tell us a little bit about you, brother?
All right, my name is Cali Boy, Chris Reese. You know, I was born in Gulfport, Mississippi, in Dirty. Came out here when I was 10 and raised up in the Valley since then, California. You know, I played football, and then I had a scholarship, broke my leg, and had to figure out what was next in college. Then decided to rap again because I was rapping earlier, and then boom, started rapping as Dirty Rat, DIRTYRAT. The West Coast Don was killing everybody, serving everybody nonstop as a battle rapper. And, you know, went to Project Blow on the Wake Up Show, won awards and shit. I was doing my thing, man, coming from the Valley to 818, you know, from the 818 to the LA, and just trying to battle everybody to show my existence that, you know, people from the 818 was dope, and we had a voice too as well. So did that. Then I done hustled up a record deal with Loud Records, which signed Exhibit, Alcoholics, Big Pun, Wu-Tang Clan, Mobb Deep, Cellar Dwellers. List goes on, Steve Rifkin. Signed a deal with him, boom. Then I went on tour for a couple years before I started doing my album. You know what I'm saying? And then did my album, and then I decided, start learning the music business. When I heard you was talking earlier, and I just, and then we had some situations with the label, and the labels had some issues with each other, so everybody wind up leaving the label, which is Wu-Tang Clan, me, everybody, Mobb Deep, Alcoholics, Exhibit. We all left the label, and Exhibit went to like Dr. Dre. There was that era when everybody was doing something with somebody. So I decided to go independent because I learned the game. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew when you sign a record deal, you only make about a certain amount of money. But if you learn the game, then you can get more money and shit when you go independent at that time. So I decided to go independent and, did a record, put an album out in 2006, traveled independently around America, sold 200,000, $8 a record since I left. So, the math was good. And that's pretty much what I did, man. Then I started writing songs for people, man. It's Cali Boy. I changed my name in 2010 to start writing songs for people. And, and I started writing songs for, different artists and stuff. And that became fun, man. So, I'm in the game, man. I just been silent in the game. I'm kind of like in the background,
So let's go back, man, real quick, man, because you said so many interesting things, man. A lot of artists out here, and a lot of artists around the world, especially, man, don't understand the significance of what Project Blow meant to the hip hop community, man. Can you speak a little bit on that, man, about what Project Blow was and what you felt like it meant to the community back when it was popping?
Yeah, man. Project Blow was the place that all rappers can go to test your skills, to beat the shop. And it was kind of like the samurai the den of the samurais. You go in there with your sword, and whoever has the sharpest sword and the best skills wins and gets the accolades at the end of the night. And then hits the little taco truck and shit and eats around 1 a.m. I don't know if you remember that type of stuff. But yeah, so you know what I'm saying? It was funny because I was from the Valley and all that shit was in LA. So I used to have to drive all the way out there with one of my best friends, and we used to drive all the way out to LA. And we used to go to Good Life Cafe, which is on Crenshaw. I mean, and it's you go there at 8:00, and the Good Life Cafe was from 8 to 10. And it was, they had this. It was just owned by Black people, and they wanted you to do all your rapping without cursing. They wanted you to sharpen your skills because they wasn't about cursing. It was so funny how a small club, a small little restaurant / rap club was so big, but you couldn't curse. So everybody was trying to get in there and rap just to show that they can rap a song without cursing. It was so funny. It was dope. So then after you left them at 10:00, you went over to where? Project Blow. You know what I'm saying? So you go over there, and then you can curse for 3 hours. Right. So then you get in there and just be blah, 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 and then everybody's battling and fingers in the face. Back in the day, it was so funny when people were battling. They're like, you ain't nothing. Funny. But yeah, man, Project Blow is really big for history, man, for West Coast, because it started a lot of people, Jurassic 5, Far Side was up in there. Who else, man? Everybody, man. Everybody. Yes. Everybody that is somebody, then it was there. Like you had to run through Project Blow, the Good Life Cafe, the Wake Up Show. You had to run through these Julio G's, West Side Radio. You had to run through these areas to make sure you was legit. Back in the day, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. See, a lot of artists today, man, have forgotten about just all those things you named, man, like the Wake Up Show, Julio G, West Side.
Well, they haven't forgot. They just don't know. Because if you was born after 2000, if you're 23 and under, you don't know what's up, man.
You're not gonna know. You're not gonna know exactly, man. And that's one thing, man, that I talk about, like on the West Coast, how we used to have those kind of outlets, man. Tone, what's up, man? Big supporter, man, of the network, man. Appreciate you, man. So,
amen.
It's like one of the biggest things, man, that I was talking about to a close friend of mine, man, that grew up together, man. It's like one thing that we're trying to bring back on the West Coast, man, is that vibe for artists, man. Because if you look at like the outlets and how back in the day, man, it was so different about how you had places to hone your skills.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It just seems like so different to me today, man, how artists not saying all artists, but there's very few places that I see on a consistent basis where artists, man, are getting out and actually networking and actually doing things like we had back in the day, man, with like Project Blowed and such like that.
No, man, bro, it's so funny that today it's too easy to get it. Well, to get a not to get a record deal, but to BC. And today, rappers can sit in their drawers and do a song in their house and upload it, and then be out there tomorrow,
Yeah.
and still be in their drawers and actually have a song in the stream,
And
streaming
actually,
a song
hey,
in
for
their
real.
underwear.
Hey, for real, man. Shout out to my publicist, man, Erica Lane, man. Appreciate you tapping in, man.
And
We're
that
gonna
name
get
sounds
to,
familiar.
yeah, you probably know her, man. It would be. I'm gonna eventually, man. When I bring her back and talk about the BET show, man, it's gonna be a big show, podcast show. But
Oh
I'm gonna
yeah.
bring you in on that too, man. She's doing a lot of work right now,
What?
man, for the BET show, man. It's gonna be a good hype event, brother.
Tell her I need a publicist too. Shit, we all need
Man,
publicists.
hey, man, hey,
Yeah, but look,
hey,
but listen, man. Back to the hip hop and shit, man. You know, listen. What you're craving for is non-existent right now. The reason why it's not existent right now is because see, hip hop started out. When hip hop started out, it was about being the best. Okay.
right,
It was about being the best in your neighborhood. It was about being the best in your city, your state,
right,
and then the best in America, and then the world. That was the
right.
goal.
That's how you
Right
reach
now,
it out. Yeah,
no one wants to be the best no more. Everybody just wants to get rich. So now hip hop is money driven. So the love and the shit that we crave for as of '90s people is not in the music. Now it's not the music's not bad. It's just money driven now. You know, bitches, hoes, sluts, John, Leah, jets, diamonds, and da 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 da. That's it. But back then we had
right,
Dear Mama, Tupac, we had Fight the Power, the Public Enemy, we had NWA, Fuck the Police, we had subject matter, Biggie Smalls,
right.
you know, everybody had people. You know what's funny? People forgot that rap music is stories. We just forgot
Right.
about that, right? Well,
You
we
forgot
didn't
about
forget
that.
about it, but everybody else from 2000 on forgot. Rap is stories, not about your story. You
Right.
gonna tell me how rich you are, how many bitches you got, how many houses, cars, mansions, and weed you smoke? That we have 12 songs of your story. Give us some stories that we see as we drive in the street and see. Dear Brenda's got a baby. Dear Mama, police is tripping. You know what I'm saying? Like
Real
stories. That's all I'm
storytelling.
saying. So we don't have
Yeah,
that
the
in
art of
music no more.
storytelling is gone. Yeah, the
Yeah.
art of the storyteller is really gone, man. Like if you look back in the days, man, that's one thing that I really be trying to tell artists that I deal with, man. Like I was counseling one of my artists this morning, and we got a nice little single that he wants to drop, and I was telling him, bro, I was like, man, you know, today, you know, nobody's telling these stories anymore. Nobody's really getting creative with their narratives, it's
Well,
like
they're telling their story, but it's like we
that's
already
the
know your
problem.
story.
Right. Yeah, yeah. See, that's the one of the big problems is that I see in the difference today, man. But let me ask you, man, do you even think that there's a way on the West Coast? Let's just talk about the West Coast for right now. Is there any way
Okay.
to bridge the gap with the youngsters, man? And how do we bring that back?
Yes, I was thinking this. You know, it'd be dope because I A&R from different labels and I'm from mainly Universal, but I also I have my ear on the street for a couple labels and I send them stuff. But my thing is this. This is really dope. I wish that with every four, like when whatever labels bond and get this like a little class, that every
Mhm.
rapper needs to like a 2 week class and they need to watch that shit before they get the check to
Hey,
understand what they're about to go into and
right,
how they understand that people died for this shit. This shit brought people from poverty to fucking luxury. And you got to understand this. Don't just jump in here and just want to fuck bitches and go to strip clubs and be in limo. Like, it's different. Now, if that's what you're going in for, then hey, do it.
right,
You feel what I'm
right,
saying? But if you
right.
really want to know about the culture and be a superstar, a
Yeah,
legend like Tupac or Kanye West and Jay Z and Biggie and them, like you have to understand what you're. It's like football. You want to play pro football. You watch
exactly.
Super Bowls and playoffs, and you're like, damn, that's what I need to be. That's my portrayal. That's my goal. You feel me? These kids today don't have role models because why? We're all dying. So we're
Yeah,
not teaching them.
yeah,
They're all
yeah.
dying. So by the time they come out, they just following the nigga that's 27 instead of the
Right,
nigga that's 50, 37 and 47. So they're like, oh, well, all I got because of 37. Because you remember when I say we because I'm a 90s guy. We did all them drugs, drinking and sex and shit and smoking weed for fucking years. So now we hit the 30s and 40s. So some of our bodies ain't taking it and we're going. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like it is. So we're not able to teach everybody what they need to know. So you know, it's like niggas is dependent on Future to teach them hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Now they're depending on Weekend to teach them hip hop. You know what I'm saying? They're depending on, instead of depending on Eminem and Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent, you know, Ice Cube, and Method Man, Redman, Wu-Tang. You know what I'm saying? Just LL Cool J. That's how they understand hip hop, by looking like the old gods and then bring your new style into it and try to compare what's happening now. And I don't know, man. I'm not complaining about it. I just know that it's not as fresh as it used to be, but it's still bread.
Yeah, it's still bread, man, and that's the conflict, man, we go through, man. Because see, for me, it's like I still yearn for the genuine music, man. Like, for instance, man, like the owner of this network, man, is a great friend of mine, man. One of my, you know what I'm saying, partners. I don't even say one of my artists because he's beyond that. He's a partner of mine. And it's like I always tell people, man, and it's just no cap, just keeping it 100. As long as I've known Biz, I've never heard like one whack song, you know, and he's young. You know what I'm saying? He's young. He's in his 30s. So it's like artists need to reach more is all I'm saying. It's bread. Everything you said is true. I have no knock against what's going on today at all. It's bread. I am not in no way hating it. I'm loving the money you can walk in right now. And I get an artist 1.5 million. I get 25% of that. I mean, 20% of that. That's 300,000.
Now
I am not knocking
you're
in
doing
check
the old
day.
school RoboCop. You're doing the old school RoboCop to the bank, like
Yeah. You stupid, because I am not old school RoboCop to the bank. I am not knocking that.
Like,
exactly, baby. I am not knocking that. But what I keep saying though, man, there's a culture that has been created from radio from albums to radio to tours. There's a culture that's being created that all I'm saying is we not winning. We ain't the reciprocants that's going to win on the other end. I see it from the inside looking out. And all I'm saying is, though, we have got to grab something else to talk about besides killing each other. We have got to find something else besides telling the hood's business and putting that in records and putting it in videos. Like, it's the thing to do.
Well, you know, it's the reason why we didn't go through that shit, and the reason why we barely went through that shit in the 90s and the early 2000s. Facebook started 08, right? Mm-hmm. That was the first joint, and MySpace was 06. So before when Facebook started, boom, but it all popped in 12 with Instagram, because then Instagram niggas was going live and telling exactly where they are and where they going. And then they start counting money and shit. Just copped this new chain, 50,000. Just got this new watch, 120.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So they out there billboarding themselves and shit. Like, just bought this new bracelet. This was 70,000. That markups and Jacob. You see what I'm saying? So now niggas are sitting in the crib like, damn. Then guess what the dumbass nigga does? Just touched Miami, about to go do some things, hit the club. You just told niggas you running around with $500,000, and now you finna go hit the club to Miami. Like, come on, bro, you're broadcasting your bullshit. Like, and that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? God, you know, like old boy at the Roscoe's. It's like he was with his girl for 4 days and she ain't did nothing. She didn't say nothing. She didn't say nothing. He was around. And all of a sudden, the day they at Roscoe's, she want to go live, be like, me and my boo, blah, blah, blah. And then 30 minutes later, the niggas is run up in there. You see what I'm saying? Like, right. But they went everywhere else for 4 days. But that one time she go live, niggas is coming. You can't do that, man. You can't do that.
You can't do that, especially in LA, man. See, being where he was from, man, I did a lot of research on that. And I ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying, I ain't gonna broadcast the business because, you know what I'm saying, OGs don't do that. But I was talking to one of my real OG gangsters, man, in LA yesterday, and we was riding through some hoods out here in LA. We call it the bottoms. And we was riding through the bottoms, and you got the 30s, you got the Pyrus here, you got the full trade gangsters here, you know.
Everybody's so close, man.
Everybody's so close around. And see, one thing we were saying about what these artists don't understand today, especially these rappers coming to LA, is, man, it's real gangsters here. It's real killers here. So you out here talking about what this man over here may want to do, and you flossing
Man,
your cars,
you
you
saying you got
flossing your
100 grand?
money,
Yeah, you say
huh?
you got 100 grand on your neck and your rings are
Exactly.
30 and your watch is 50. Look, that's 180 grand. That nigga's like, nigga, that's my meal ticket. Where is
Exactly,
he?
exactly. You know what I mean? And you can't do that. And see, that's what I'm saying. It's like we have turned so animalistic on each other, man, that it's like now you broadcasting what you got, but you got a real wolf over here. He a
Well,
hunter.
they look at it like he's flossing, like, yeah, nigga, get your shit up, nigga, get your hustle up. I'm doing it. What's wrong with you? And niggas is
Exactly,
like, man, fuck that nigga. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just being
exactly.
honest.
We gonna get him. Yeah,
I'm just being
we
honest.
got us one. You know what I mean? So that's like
It's
that's
sad,
like the
man.
thing that I see. That's the thing that I see so much in hip hop, man. But just like when I was helping A&R and some of NBA young boys tracks, right? When I saw the
Yeah.
money that they was giving out, that Atlantic was giving out for this boy's record, man, bro, this money is hard to turn down, is what I'm saying. So it's just like, I mean, I hate to say this, but I'm gonna say this, man. Being in the industry, man, and much love to everybody. But as long as they keep paying us to kill ourselves, we're gonna keep killing ourselves. Because the checks I be seeing these major labels, right? It's ridiculous. But then you want to go hold these Negroes accountable and put them in jail for gangbanging and selling dope and selling fentanyl all over the country. But man, these checks they be writing out, the checks these producers be getting, like if a major label pick up your track, man, this dude at Atlantic straight out told me, Jay, whatever you bring to the table, we give it. If NBA like it, if Gucci Man like it, all these artists I be submitting tracks to these labels, bro, they giving out, man. Man, I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna leave it alone. When you look at for one track, you can hit like 300 bands, bro. Ain't too many people gonna turn that down. So
Yeah, man.
it's
Hip hop
it's
has
kind of
changed
like
from back in the days. This is money now, nigga. It's money. It's funny.
it's money, man. And that's just a hard thing that I see in this business. If we don't turn it around as OGs in the game, this is what I was telling one of my OG youngsters out there, because he a Mason now and he got a big nation behind him. And I said, bro, look, if we don't change this stuff, the OGs don't change it, man, it's over with. Because these youngsters is gonna wipe themselves off the face of the earth. They ain't gonna be no more of them. They gonna wipe. Because see, you gotta realize, bro, I was born in 75. I started gang banging when I was 8. My daddy died in 83. I started banging. I was 8. I tell everybody, man, you ain't living. And we didn't have semi-automatic choppers. Like
Right.
they got guns now that spit out bullets so fast. You ain't running from that. So
Right.
this street life that everybody be playing with on these records, man, dudes is really getting their heads, blown off, man. We got to do something different in this music game, man. And it kind of leads me to what you talking about, man. I want to hear more about, before I get back to some of the old school stuff you did. What's up with this documentary you got, man? Let's talk about West Coast hip hop, man, and the credit it does get or doesn't get.
Woo.
Let's talk about the Grammys, the 50-year celebration, and people saying we got left out. So what's up with this documentary you got, bro?
Well, 50-year celebration. It was a nice put together under the Grammys. I applaud them for that. I liked it a lot. I wasn't in love with it, but I loved it, but I wasn't in love. So that's what's up. Um, Basically this documentary is called Dubs Up. Like just throw your dubs up, right?
Right.
And it's basically the origin of West Coast hip hop. Now, the four elements of hip hop are DJing, right? Breakdancing, uh, rapping,
Graffiti out, yeah.
and graffiti, right? So those are the four elements of hip hop. So my documentary shows you that 3 out of the 4 elements of hip hop. There you go, right there, dubs up. 3 out of the 4 elements of hip hop were started in the West Coast before it was in the East Coast. East Coast started DJing, but graffiti was in the '60s in downtown LA with the Mexicans. I got that documentary footage, so that was before them. They hit the subways in the '70s, and then pop locking came from San Francisco. And the reason how they made breakdancing is because they saw when Soul Train came over here in '69. they grabbed all the LA dancers and all the
Right.
Boogaloo dancers was on Soul Train. So all the people on the East Coast was watching us, our Boogaloo dancers, Boogaloo and Pop Lop dancers use the upper body. So the East Coast was watching that and they were like, damn, that's dope. But we can't bite. Remember, that was one of their words. So what we're going to do is use our lower body. And they invented breakdancing. So then they call themselves B-boys instead of Boogaloo boys, which is Boogaloo dancers, and they became breakdancers, B-dance. So I show that in my documentary with footage on that. And then rapping. First album that come out was in 1971 called the Watts Prophets. Three guys rapping, females singing the hooks. They were rapping, talking about all this shit. Came out, it was the first album to ever be published. First rap album to ever be published in 1971. 1973, they said Kool Herc started hip hop. So that's why we're celebrating 50 years.
Ooh.
Right. So really, we should be celebrating 52 years, according to my documentary.
Wow. So, Go back. My bad. My name is Biz. Everybody know me as the band Dirty Harvard. And you said something. I've been listening to the interview, and you've been dropping dimes all interview, right? But you said something there that I gotta say something. I was on tour with a guy named Charlie Tuna, and from the Jurassic 5, and we was in. Yeah, we was in Canada. We did a US tour, and sold it out. It was great. And then we did a international tour in Canada. And he started telling me all about Kool Herc, DJ Kool Herc, and this and that, and this is where hip hop started, and this and you like, well, this is valid because this is coming from what we consider the guru, right? You know what I mean? Like, this is Jurassic 5. This is Charlie Tuna, right? Kind of like the source of hip hop in a sense, right? When you're on that type of level, right? In the sense of like old school hip hop, man. Now hearing you talk about this,
yeah.
Hey man, yup. Hey, dub up, right? Dubs up,
man. Look, I got to my East Coast partners.
Hey, can you explain that? I'm sorry to cut you off, but can you explain that a little bit more? I ain't trying to give the documentary away. But I just want a little bit.
A little bit.
Hey, no, this was so dope about it. This was so dope about the documentary. I went and got Alonzo Williams to back it. I got DJ Quick on there. I got Battle Cat, Sir Jinx. I got Mellow Man Ace for the Latino crowd to let people know, and they all knew about it. I got Rodney O, Joe Cooley.
Wow.
I got Two Live Crew. Now, guess what? The niggas don't know Two Live Crew is from the West. Only reason they've claimed Miami is because when Luke saw him out here in LA, he said, yo, I love that record. And when that record blew up, Luke said, move to Miami. And that's why they claim Miami. But if you watch some of the shows, their videos, the Chinese one always had a Raiders shirt on.
That was really from the West.
He was always representing LA Raiders, an old school LA Raider white t-shirt he used to always rock that in the videos.
That's what I didn't know, man. And see, the thing of it is, I'm doing this big project, like I said, with Compton College, man. I'm probably gonna bring in Dominguez Hills too, but I'm doing a celebration, 50-year celebration of hip hop. And the reason why I really wanted you on, man, you know what I'm saying, is that I want to bring you into this project because everybody that I've talked to doing my research and development for this project, my publicist and I are working on, man. We don't get this side of the story that you're talking about, bro. It's like I got some old school dudes, man, like in their 50s. They like 55. And it's like the conversation when it comes down to hip hop, like you just said, we should be celebrating 52 years. It's like we don't get the props for the elements that was already going on the West Coast. You know, that's all that I'm saying. Y'all might have invented DJing. Y'all might have invented the scratch. But that ain't the whole element of hip hop if we go all the way back. So I wanted your perspective on because of that. That's why I wanted your perspective to give my audience an understanding that I've always had the East Coast perspective because most of my old school hip hop heads are from the East Coast. Like this last documentary I just saw, because most documentaries don't even mention DJ Hollywood that was in. But he was, if you didn't have DJ Hollywood back in the days, you wouldn't have had a whole lot of dudes back there, but we just don't get enough props, man, out here on the West Coast.
I'm gonna fuck you up. Because in my documentary, I got quick little stories. My documentary, it got K-Day was the first radio station to play hip hop 24 hours. East Coast wasn't even doing that shit.
No.
So Greg Mack was the one that was doing that shit, right? Julio G. So that's in the documentary. I gave praise to them because it's like we started the 3 elements of hip hop out of 4. And we had the first radio station to play 24 hours hip hop. It's like, come on, man. Y'all can't take all the credit. Like, I get it. But damn, because one day I was sitting here thinking to myself, I was driving on the freeway. Before I did this documentary, I was driving on the freeway and I was like, damn. They were like, yeah, it's celebration of hip hop in 22 more years because I did this documentary during COVID, right? Like 21, and I was shooting it all 21 and mostly 22 to come out this year. Well, end of 22. So I was like, you know what? So I kept hearing the celebration hip hop, and I'm like, damn, it's so crazy that that we're celebrating this, and I knew exactly that we wasn't. So I said, damn, out of the 4 elements of hip hop, West Coast didn't think of one. I mean, we didn't do one. And then I talked to my East Coast homie, and he was like, yeah, we started all that shit. And I was like, so what did y'all start? He said, y'all started pop rock in the 5th one. And I was like, pop rock, and then he said gangster music, the 6th. And I was like, come on, man. Right, so we didn't have nothing to do with the 4. So that's what made me start doing research. Like, and I was like, well, what was the first rap record in the West Coast? And I started doing that. Then I saw it was the Watts Prophets. Then I called Cam from Watts. We talked about it. Then I called King T. And then I was like, would you narrate the documentary? And Cam, would you validate this joint? And he was like, yes. And I started doing that shit. Like, let's go. You feel what I'm saying? So, boom, boom, boom. But it's all good, man. Like the second story is funny. When I signed my record deal with Loud Records, I went to New York and I was out there hanging out, meeting everybody and shit. So they put me in the truck with Exhibit and Razzcast, and we had went to Kool Herc's house to bust on his mixtape because he had mixtapes going on then still. And so when we get to his crib and shit, and Exhibit and Razzcast bust their verses, and then I'm writing my verse, and so then they decide they were hungry and they leave. So I'm sitting here with Kool Herc, the founder of hip hop, the god of hip hop, according to everybody, and me and him are sitting there talking for 3-4 hours, and he's just telling me all about hip hop, and it's so crazy. So then they pick me up and we leave, and then I come back and talk to my boys out here in the West, and they're like, "Do you understand what just happened?" And I'm like, "No, I don't get it. What do you mean?" They're like, "Bro, you sat down with the god of hip hop," and I didn't realize that because I'm 19. I didn't realize that. Now that I'm about to be 50 this year, you feel what I'm saying? Like now I'm about to be 50 this year. It's like 30 years later, you're like, damn, that shit really meant something. And now I got a book out and shit about the game and shit, and a documentary talking about the shit. So my shit is valid. So when my shit dropped this summer on Netflix in July, August, and anybody like, yo, that's some bullshit. Kool Herc. What this nigga talking? Kool Herc would be like, I know him.
Like, what are you gonna say?
I told him everything. It's hilarious.
Hey, what you say? He told you all the jewels. Huh?
He told me all the jewels at 20 years old. So I was like, oh, okay.
Right.
Because you gotta also, I'm a West Coast rapper like you, a West Coast vibe. I love all my West Coast music, but I love the East Coast Redmans, the Biggies, the LLs, the Keith Murrays. I love those cats, man. Those cats, the Method Mans and the Ghost Faces. And
I'm working on an interview, man, with Keith Murray right now. Yeah, man. Black Sheep.
Yeah, come on, man. Like I was into all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Even the Beastie Boys. You know.
Can I ask you a question about the East Coast West Coast beef? I'm a younger guy.
You know what's so funny? Wait, before you ask me that, I just did an interview yesterday in Paris. Well, not in Paris, the same way like this, and they asked me the same question. They said, "Well, can I ask you what about the East Coast West Coast beef?" That is so funny. But go ahead, bro. It's cool. Go ahead.
Because of the documentary, it's like that's probably a typical question that's probably going to come up because you mentioning the DJ. You know what I mean? You're mentioning the DJ Kool Herc's. You're mentioning what that West Coast didn't do anything to hip hop. Like we didn't add no type of value, right? And that kind of draws the question of, well, there was a time when East Coast West Coast had this beef. Yeah, it was on different terms. It was on some some gangbanging shit.
Well, actually, no, it wasn't really on no gangbanging shit. Because I was
from the West Coast.
At the source, I was at the wards when that shit happened.
Oh, so, beautiful.
Check this out. Yeah, I was there. So, but what it was is that we were in New York for 7 days before the awards.
Okay.
They didn't play one song from the West Coast on the radio or the clubs.
Wow.
That bothered us.
Right, because Snoop said, "Oh, the East Coast ain't got no love for the West Coast," but he was talking about the radio. That's
Yeah, he talking about the radio. Yeah, he
Because
talking about the radio when he said that.
we was playing everybody from
Everybody,
everywhere.
we
Remember?
still do. We
That's
play
true.
everybody from the East Coast, but yeah.
Go ahead.
So,
My bad.
but you know, so funny. All this is in my documentary too. It's crazy. From Tupac shooting, I got that in there for East Coast, West Coast. I talk all about the Biggie. I talk about how it started. But the thing is that so East Coast wasn't showing no love, and I mean talking about Philadelphia, New Jersey, New York, Brooklyn. All those man had their radio stations was just not playing. They just wasn't playing our music, but we were playing nothing but Puffy and everything, you know, Busta Rhymes, Nicki, not Nicki, but Little Kim, Big. We were playing that. Remember, they were blowing us up with New York shit out here, right?
Yep.
It was so much New York's dirty South shit, genuine, not genuine. What was the name? All these different cats from the South, the Master P, all that shit was all over our radio. But then when you went to the East Coast, it was like, damn. Can you play one song? You know what I'm saying? So that's what it started. They were upset about that. He said that on film. Then when Tupac got shot, that just happened to be in the next month or so in New York studios. It happened. Biggie and Puffy happened to be on the 6th floor, and he was on the 3rd floor and going down to the lobby to meet with his peoples. And then some niggas was out there, and then boom, conflict happened, and he gets shot 6 times and survives. So now he was like, these motherfuckers. So that's how it started, because they were like, oh, they tried to assassinate our king on the West, which was because he was bigger than everybody. You know what I'm saying? So now niggas in the East Coast is like, oh shit. No, Biggie and Puffy denied everything, but then the West Coast is like, oh nigga, we gotta retaliate. And then it became boom. So then the news got that shit, got word of that shit, and they just caught fire, bro. And they turned it into to more than what it was. You know what I'm saying? So, and it was just a misunderstanding and shit, because them niggas just happened to be there at that moment, and then Tupac just happened to be there, and then remember it was East Coast, because you got to remember Tupac was a hothead, remember, because the reason why he got killed is because he just couldn't let the nigga just at the casino just walk away and be like, man, fuck you, nigga, because they just argued for like 5 minutes, and then if he just would have just walked away, he would have still been alive. But he said, I'm just gonna beat this nigga up. You know what I'm saying? If he just would have walked away, he would have never had that conflict.
Yeah, he beat up a real one. He ran into a real one. He ran into a. That's what I be saying.
He ran into a real one in New York when he came out the studio, and he saw some cats outside. And I guess they exchanged words, and he was like, "Nigga, son." The nigga was like, "What?" And he showed the video. It was like he was arguing with one nigga. So the nigga that he was arguing with wasn't one that shot him. When he was arguing with the nigga in front of him, I showed in my documentary too. You see a nigga kind of like creep right on the side of him, kind of like right here while they arguing and moving really slow. And then he turned around and looked, and that nigga was like, pop, 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 pop. So it wasn't even a nigga he was arguing with. Yeah, it was crazy. You'll see the documentary and shit. I mean, you can Google the shit too, you know what I'm saying? But it's crazy. But anyway, like I said, this shit was overblown by the press, man. And then Biggie shouldn't have died and shit because over stupid shit. Now, Biggie's death was a conspiracy because the police was involved with that shit. So Tupac's death was some nigga shit, but the Biggie's death was some payback West Coast police, Suge Knight shit. You feel me? Like, cause there's a movie out that I saw a couple years back. It's called I don't know. Damn, I wish I knew the name of it, but it tells about. It's so dope. It's so vivid about the Tupac murder and the Biggie death. And to the point they show cars and little court cars and.
Oh, they got the little models and shit. The little models.
Yes, they got all that shit. Too. And it's a dope ass. It's a dope ass movie too. I'm telling you right now. So, what's his name is in it? With the crazy eye, the brother, the actor, big dude with the crazy, the Forrest Whitaker. So you type in that, it's about him. He's the writer of that movie. Like, he didn't write it, but he plays the guy that was doing all the photography and doing all the stories of it, of both murders. I think it was. Yeah.
That was called City of Lies with Forrest Whitaker.
There you go.
Yeah, City of Lies, man. That was a great movie.
I saw that a couple years ago. Yeah. That shit broke everything down. So it really wasn't. It was just really it was really publicly influenced, man. The press, man, they made that shit bigger than it was.
So that's crazy. I mean, I'm glad you cleared that up. Also, like, what you think about like being at the source? You know, you was about to like kind of explain. I wanted to know what that experience like being at the source and seeing all of that happen. What year was this? This is like what year?
90 shit, man. You know, I'm old now. Let me see. Let me think. What year was that? 90 was Snoop was out. I think it was like 95, 94. No, Pac died. So I was like 94.
That's
Yeah,
like
94.
95, I
Yeah.
think. I
No,
think that
no,
was
it wasn't
95
95.
Source Awards.
Nah, I think it was 94 because Pac died the summer of 95. And then Biggie died in February of 96. So it had to be 94, right? Or it was, I think the source was April. So was it that April? Was it that close?
I
April to
think it was
September?
that. I'll be honest with you, bro. I think it was that April. I think it was in 95 in April, I think. We could look that
Wow.
up and verify, but I think
Yeah,
it
if it
was
was
that close.
95 in April and he died 4 months later, fine, that's crazy. I thought it was a year before that, and we had a whole year of East Coast, West Coast bullshit. And then, because remember, we came out with New York. So I thought maybe we did bigger. I don't know. I thought maybe it was a year before that, and we went fire on the next year.
So,
But shit, I don't. Well,
what
why
was that
are we talking?
experience like?
Hey, one of y'all can Google it while we talking. But yeah, that
Yeah,
experience was
I
cool,
will.
man. That shit was cool, man. I was really young though. You gotta remember, I'm young, so it's shit. I'm just really, you know what I'm saying. I mean, I'll be 50 this year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
they said August 1995, but I'm not sure though.
okay,
So
well that's
it's
probably it then. That was it. So what? August 19th. Damn. So because look, if it was So look, this peep game. If it was August 1995, Tupac died in the very next month. I don't know if it was that fast.
Right.
right.
It had to be August of '94. You feel me?
So
That's what it had to
so
be. But anyway, we'll move on.
so even seeing all the aspects of hip hop and seeing like where it started, kind of being there, seeing the skeletons of hip hop, seeing the fossils. You know what I mean? Like you was around, usually like kind of like I would I would kind of say you're an archaeologist of hip hop in a sense, right?
That's pretty dope. I'm a fossil.
You know what I mean? Because
digging up fossils in hip hop.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Hey man, that should be our show, man. Let's do that show together, man.
Hey,
digging up fossils of hip hop.
right here on the network, baby.
Hey, I like that.
That's our new show. All three of us digging up the fossils of hip hop. We're gonna get
You
deep
know what I
into
mean?
every
Archaeologists. You know what I mean?
There
like
it is,
that.
man. We're gonna quote it. We're gonna quote it and let's go.
Hey, it's already on. So y'all can try to do it if you want to. It's already copywritten. You know what I mean?
Boy, as soon as we get out of it, man, he already doing it right now.
Yeah, so man. You know what I mean? Being that person that's seen that and that kind of walked those shoes from the West Coast and the East Coast, seeing the dynamics of how it changed the world of hip hop. Animals aren't too far from the dinosaurs then, right? If we're looking at the animal world, right?
Yeah.
Like a motherfucking eagle is a descendant from a pterodactyl, right? We get that. But
right.
They still kind of fall in the same lines, right? In the sense of they fly, they nest, they fucking go eat, they hunt. You know what I mean? The normal shit.
Long as they follow what they're supposed to do.
Exactly. So you kind of getting what I'm saying here. Like the rules that should have been followed, of course, it's not there today. So what was you seeing that, how it changed and how it affected us, today? Like we lost that, right? We lost the fossils, we lost the organic of hip hop.
It made me stop rapping in 2008 when that song came out. I mean, hey, listen, I'm just no this to these guys because you know what I'm saying. But in 2008, when a West Coast artist came out and he had on tight jeans and the tight shirt, and it was a green shirt and blue jeans, yellow socks, orange hat, and he was like, "You're a jerk, you're a jerk." And I was
okay,
like,
wait. Are you saying that's when hip hop made a DNA change?
Yes.
Is that when it had the sex change?
Yes. Because let me tell you right now,
hip hop had a sex change.
In 2008, yes, 15 years ago. 15 years ago.
This is a fool.
Tupac had a 15 years ago, hip hop had a sex change, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Shit.
Look.
We talking about this. Come on.
Now, peep game. If Tupac and Biggie was here, with all these tight jeans, croc wearing ass niggas, fluorescent now later pack rapping would look like they got marbles in their mouth.
Hell no.
Auto-tune, would that be going? As soon as that record came out in 08, when these tight little niggas, I know they're 19 and 16 or 16 and 17, whatever, you're a jerk. And then from being Oakland too, do you think Tupac would have cut? Niggas, I ain't doing it. Niggas, boom, he would have shut that whole skinny jean movement down. You know, no rapper would come out. No rapper would come out with skinny jeans because they were afraid of Tupac coming at them.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Hold on one second, Cali boy. I gotta push back a little bit. 1 second. I gotta push back a little bit. The reason why
same thing for the East Coast.
Wait, I gotta push back a little bit because you got Too Short up there. You got E40 up there, right? And
yeah,
then
but those niggas don't go out for beef. Tupac, come get your ass. He don't want it. He loves the West Coast. He not finna let you represent the West Coast wrong. He goes.
So what do you? But what does that say?
Nigga.
But Cali boy, what does that say about the E40s, the Too Shorts that's up there? That
they're very good, but they're gonna let it pass because they're not battle rappers.
They're not battle rappers. They ain't beefers. So.
Tupac, go get your ass. Look, Tupac went after the best niggas in the East Coast.
Yeah,
all
Tupac
5 of them on one song.
We don't care. It's a little bit different.
He talking about Nas. He talking about all 5 niggas on one song. Nas, Mobb Deep, this nigga, that nigga. Like what, nigga? I don't care, nigga. Da. That shit crazy. None of them niggas, even Ice Cube, don't want no funk. Ice Cube, only reason for Ice Cube got funk, he knew what to say to his ex-members in his group. That's why his diss records was so savage, because he knew the 4 niggas he was talking about. So we were like, "Ooh, shit! I never had beef with the president. He knew that shit with Easy and all them. So that's why this shit. But everybody else, the battle raps are just okay because they don't really know the person they rapping about.
Right. You're right. And we're going to continue the conversation with the hip hop had a sex change. But check this out. I feel what you're saying about Pac. Now, I'm not a beef go getter, but I am.
Right.
People make
you're too short. You're too short in E40.
No, wait. Hold on. Let me finish.
Okay.
People may see me as a beef starter.
Okay.
Right. Because I cool. These hands is something else. A lot of niggas can't see hands in the street, so they gunplay. We get that, right? So these hands is not going to even. Right, these hands is not going to even matter at a time, right? So I got manpower for that, right? The thing is, I am a beef starter. I will say some shit. This looks weird. Niggas is weirdos, right? Now, now, whether you pick it up or not, that's you, right?
Right.
But I am addressing the issue. I think a lot of times that cats, like me, I'll put it in a video. I'm kind of like your J. Cole in a way. You know, remember when J. Cole did that video where he had them niggas on the heads or whatever? It was like he's coming for niggas' heads and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was cool.
I'm kind of like the Kendrick, how Kendrick was, you know what I mean? J. Cole and my whole, what he say? My whole point is to delete all of you niggas and make sure your fans have never heard of you niggas, right? You know what I mean? It's shit like that, right? Because it is a competition. It is this is hip hop, but that's like you said, this is hip hop is stories. You know what I mean? Battle rap is another thing.
But that first sentence you said, it's not a competition no more. That's the problem of hip hop. No one wants to be number one. Nobody. They just want to get some bread. But when we was rapping from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, everybody wanted to be the best.
Okay.
When you grab that mic, you were like, I'm the best in the room. Nobody in here can see me. Nobody. Come on up stage if you want it. I'll give it to you. You feel what I'm saying?
I'm going to give you that.
Everybody get on the stage now and tell you how much money they got or how much money they want.
That's it. I'm gonna give you that, right? But that doesn't change the we're gonna go to the sex change, people. We're gonna go back there. But look, that doesn't change the J. Cole not beefing, but silently beefing with Kendrick, trying to become the best sales or trying to become the best artist, right? Or how Macklemore got on Kendrick, not got on him, but took his Grammy the first time they went for the Grammys, right? Both niggas in hip hop, right? Macklemore is a white boy in hip hop. Kendrick was stupid dope at that time.
But we know that was political though, Biz.
Right. We know that's political, right? But what I'm saying is there's a competition there. Everybody knew who was better. right? But that competition there is what I'm saying is the reason why.
But but look, I don't think Kendrick was even thinking about Macklemore. That's all I'm saying when I come to competition. You know what I'm saying? Like LL Cool J was thinking about Kool Moe Dee when he did it that one album. That's like, every song had Kool Moe Dee in it. All 12 of them. Jiggling Baby. Like, I'm just going back to old school. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when Ice Cube has 3 songs on one album, this in his old group. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But the little shit is like, it's cool.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. I get what you're saying. The poking is like, whatever. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? So,
hip hop had a sex change.
That's why. So when it had a sex time, Your Jerk came out, sex change, and I was like, damn. And then I was like, well, shit, man, I'm getting older now. And I'm having to put on some tight jeans and some fluorescent shirts and shit because everybody started watching it because it came out 08 and then 09 hit. Then I was like, damn, everybody in the East Coast done caught on now. Then I started seeing niggas in the South wearing tight jeans and Crocs. So I was like, oh my God. Then 2010 hit, and I was like, shit. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to start writing songs. Fuck this shit, because this is not the hip hop I'm going to do, but I'm going to start writing the songs for these niggas, and I'm going to just get paid off these cats. But I'm not going to produce music and try to be an artist in a world it's just a different world for me. I decided to back up. I didn't see it wasn't tasty anymore.
Was it the style of hip hop?
It's kind of like, it's kind of like, you've been going to this restaurant and it's expensive as hell and you've been eating the same meal and then one day you're like, I'm cool. You dig what I'm saying? And then you move on and you go to that restaurant once a year instead of posting it once a month. You dig what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. It just gave me it didn't give me the same taste. So I was like, I'm good. So I'd rather write instead of standing in front of the stage and try to compete with a nigga that's 16 years old with a fluorescent shirt on with Crocs and his shirt off with 17 tattoos and a teardrop on his eye. It's just too much. I was like, nah, I'm good. Like I know a man gotta know his limitations. That's what my dad always told me. A man gotta know his limitations.
So when it comes to the writing, are you like, does the industry change the writing aspect also because it's changed so much? Did that change your writing as well?
Yeah, it changed my writing, yes, because I had to get my ear to the street more, you know what I'm saying, and know what the new words and the new genre and the word, the slang was, and da-da-da-da. But my thing is once I get in the studio with you, it takes me about an hour. I'm a great judge of character. That's what I get paid for, to see if make sure an artist is worth signing and getting paid, and because it takes $2 million to push an artist, so a label will look at you like, oh, yo, is this the one? So, you know what I'm saying? I'm a great judge of character. So I have to look at you and be like, all right, you good, we can do it, or not. So, I mean, that's pretty much what it is.
So what makes a good judge of character to an artist?
Well, I have to know most artists, these artists that are like under 21 or 20, I'd say, I'm gonna go ahead and say just 2000 artists from 2000 up, they're lazy as fuck. You know what I'm saying? And they have a right to be because the internet's right in their face. Any artist 22,
hold on. They ain't got no fucking right to be. Fuck that. They ain't got. Hey man, I'm like the Kevin Samuels.
Let's just think about. Okay, well listen. They got a phone when they were 6 or 7, and they've been playing video games, and then they got internet the very next year. Facebook, all that shit. So look, boom, 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 boom. All that shit popped in the next 15 years. Look, they're only 23. So they got all that shit when they were 7 or 8. And that's all they know is the phone and what's happening on it.
That's all they know.
That shit. All we had was a phone to call a nigga, to meet up with a nigga, to go hustle or grind with a nigga. I mean, we didn't have all these extra distractions. So my son is 15, so I get it. That's why I be like, yo, man, put the phone down, nigga, do this, do that. Watch a YouTube video or something, shit, nigga. Do some education. Because they'll sit on their phone and play video games all day. I'm not knocking that. But I'm just saying, the artists today, like me, man, how I got on a wake-up show on the radio, Sway and Tech at the Beat in the 90s is I was in Pomona. I drove Saturday night because it came on at I said this in my book. I'm going to just tell you, I drove 60 miles to the radio station and stood outside for an hour and waited till Sway and Tech pulled up. They had a black Benz. They came together. Their show was at 10. I got there at 8:30. I waited. They called up at 9:30 every day. I walked up to their window and was knocking on their window, and they drove by and was like, what the fuck? So I was like, damn. So then I went home, drove 60 miles back home. The next Saturday, came 60 miles back. Sat outside at 8:30. Them niggas pulled up again. I stood in front of the car. And he was like, what the fuck? Then the security guy came out. He was, hey, I said, man, I just want to holler at these cats, man. They're not letting the window down.
Wow.
So then security said, all right, bro, listen. He said, listen, I'll come back next Saturday. They went in. The security was cool. He was like, look, just come back next Saturday and I'll make sure the gate is closed. And then you can just walk up it, to the door and be like, hey, just hold this CD up. And then, that way, you're not threatening and shit. Because, niggas just walking up to the car, that's scary to them. So I was like, all right, cool. So he set it up. Boom, 8:30 came, 9:30 came. I waited outside. This is my third hour. They came up. The gate was closed. They were waiting for the security to open it. And I came. I was like, yo, man, my CD. Sway let the window down. And Tech was like, yo, you gonna do this every day? And I was like, yes, until you put my song on the radio. I'm going to be here every Saturday until you play my shit.
Man,
they started laughing.
On that.
They started laughing and they said, here, give me your shit, nigga. So look, when I got on the freeway, was driving home because I had 60 miles, nigga, in 15 minutes, he must have listened to the song on the station and said, yo, my man just came in. He's going to be up here next Saturday. I want to see you up here next Saturday, Dirty Rat. I'm finna play his song. And that nigga played my record. I'm listening to my song the first time on the radio, nigga, driving back to Pomona, nigga. So that's how I got on the radio.
Wow.
So I can say, ain't no kid right now would do none of that shit. That's too much.
It's too much work. I say that.
Yeah,
too
man,
much
work. I told you earlier, a kid could pull out a record on Friday night in his drawers and record a record in his drawers on Friday night and then put it out Saturday morning in drawers and just upload it.
You can buy it anywhere. Come on, man. I'm from an era when I was with my man Jay Wells, and we were fucking selling $5, $10 in mixtapes, his CDs and shit. Niggas walking around selling them at gas stations for $5 and $10 with my nigga Jay Wells. Like, I come from that era, bro.
Jay Wells, man, how long was you have you worked with Jay Wells recently? Is he still in Atlanta?
Man, I just talked to Jay Wells last week. He's in Atlanta. He just had a baby boy and shit, man. He got
okay. Salute to the homie, man. Salute to the homie.
Man. That's my nigga.
Okay.
So is that how you see a genuine artist to be able to say, okay, this artist is worth signing? Is by seeing their hustle, seeing their work ethic, seeing how they move, seeing what makes it like, you know what, I could walk you straight to the door. Like, you got it all.
It's a feeling. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like when you first heard Mariah Carey or Michael Jackson or R. Kelly or Drake. It's like this thing like, oh, shit, this motherfucker feels like it's fascinating. Like, it's extraterrestrial. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Listen, I'm a very deep critic, right, on rap music. But when I heard Drake's first record, like, girl, you are my everything. And then, come on, man. We all had to sit back and was like, oh, my God, that shit is fucking phenomenal. And then he came out with that next record. I was like, okay, he's setting a bar right now. And then everybody said, like, oh, shit, we have to step our raps up because this nigga's, this little young nigga coming out of Canada. It's kind of like the way Eminem hit the game, you know? They were like, oh, shit. We got to step our bars up. This white boy is destroying shit. You know what I mean? It's a feeling you get when you see an artist. It don't have to be just about the lyrics. It's just about it's a feeling, a vibe you get when you step. You be like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Hey, like Rihanna, I think Jay-Z said a story like he didn't even hear Rihanna sing, but when he met her, it was like, damn, you're like glowing like a gold nugget. Like it was a feeling he had. And then he started talking to her, and then boom. So it was like, whoa, like it was an energy, bro. That's all I'm saying. I don't know. I don't know if I can tell you, explain it completely, but it is definitely energy because I have artists that had a great song but a fucked up attitude, but it had a great attitude but a terrible song, or super fine with a decent voice but the beat was terrible, or had a great beat but the song was great as hell but the hook was terrible. It's like it's so many elements that you'd be like, you know, so you feel me? It's always something, and then you also meet that one. That's nothing. You're like, you can't find nothing wrong. You're trying to hate your most of you can't. You're like, damn, I'm trying to hate, but I can't. That's all I'm saying.
That's good. That's great. No, it's good because artists need to hear that. Artists need to understand, like, you need the person to walk you in. You need the A&R. You need the words of these people to understand what it is that you need to have or take some damn accountability. You know what I mean? In the sense of, I need to correct my character. I need to correct my work ethic. I need to understand that this is a business. I need to understand that I need to have it all together before I can even say, okay, this person is worth coming in to hear my music. Cause he, it's worth that. He may see like, oh well, they're cool, but their character off. They're cool, but their music is off. They're cool, but so a lot of times it's just finding what the inside of knowing who the A&R is, right?
Well,
seeing who they
and
are,
having
being in a
your puzzle
relationship.
and having your puzzle complete when you come in.
Yeah, I think a lot of
having your puzzle complete, no missing pieces. You have your production company started, whatever. You have a manager. You have a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? You have an EPK electronic press kit, about 10 minutes of you do interview. I tell artists, this is what you need, man. You need a fucking company, an LLC, which is very easy to start, $200. You need a manager. It could be your Uncle Earl. You had that nigga wear a suit that day. You need to have an attorney, somebody that's registered. So if I Google you, like attorney John Lawson, and I can't find him, he's not an attorney. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we can't be fooled. And then we need you to have great character and spirit. We need to know that when at EPK, we need to see you doing interviews because we need to see how you talk, how you present yourself. Because it takes $2.5 million to push an artist. So we're gonna get, and then they usually use $500,000 to take care of your album and your advances, and boom, your videos and shit. Then the other $2 million is to push you around America and see what happens. And if you flop, it's like who pays that back? See, it's so funny. This is why it's so funny is that artists gotta being an artist is kind of cool because if you go get a $500,000 event, you don't have to pay that shit back if you get dropped. You know what I'm saying? You never have to pay nothing back. You know what I'm saying? The labels just move the fuck on, and then we write you off as a tax, and it doesn't affect you. You feel me? So just always remember that. Always remember that. That's what you got going on when you So it's a big gamble. So you just have to have. It's not about how many followers you have, because you can have 1 million followers, but then think about. I tell people like this: do you have fans or followers? Because people that follow you just look at you every day, and sometimes they like, sometimes they don't. That's a follower. A fan is someone that every day you do something, they push like, they push like, they push like. They argue them, you know what I'm saying? So, and a fan is somebody, and look like this. If you want to figure out how many followers and fans you have, I know a lot of people have over 100,000 followers and fans, and they say, I got 100,000 followers. Okay, well, drop something for $1. Drop a song for 99 cents and see how many people buy it. Niggas spent $2 on bubblegum today. So if they don't buy your shit for $1 and support you, they're not your fan. They're your follower. They just want to peep out what you're doing every day. They just want to peep what you're doing every day. They're not your fan because the fan will spend $1. Shit, I barely know y'all, and I would buy all of you guys bubblegum for $2 just because we know each other. If I went to the store and y'all want some gum, I would come back with gum. You see what I'm saying? But a nigga can't spend $1 on my single.
Hey, you know what's crazy? Is you're right. You're absolutely right. That I preach that a lot. I preach that a whole fucking lot. What's up, Jay Smooth? Jay Smooth just got in here, stopping in and say hello, everybody.
What's up, Gary?
What's good?
What's up, Gary?
We're on Jay Adams show right now.
Jay Adams, what's the deal, big dog?
Hey man, what's going on with you, man? How you doing, man? I see you moving and moving. How you doing?
Oh yeah, man. Shout out to my boy Cowboy over there at the Albany Inn.
Okay, that's what's
he
up.
just tapped. That nigga just hit me. Was all like, smooth. Nigga, I'm at Rolling Loud. Nigga, pull up right now. I said, what? Nigga, right now I'm on my way. Nigga. On my mama.
No said. Okay, so that's what's going down today. Was that like a whole weekend situation?
Yeah, today the last day.
Yeah, because some of my people from Hype Magazine was over there. I think yesterday or last night they had a showcase.
Yeah, man. The last night was the one.
So I wanna get, but yeah, good looking out, Smooth. We're gonna get back up in here, get this.
Yes, sir. Do y'all thing, bro.
All right, bro. Man. Be safe out there, man.
God bless,
yes, sir.
All right, brother.
So
yeah, man, Smooth stopped in. That was love right there. Okay.
I didn't want to cut you off, but a lot of times, you know what I mean, like what you're saying is so important because a lot of cats don't understand of what they need to have it all. You know what I mean? And you was really going in and like just kind of breaking it down on how artists may not have it all. And they want it all, but they don't. And just knowing the inside of what an A&R is thinking and how they're looking at it and what they need to have an LLC, a business together. You know what I mean? Make sure you have these things together. And those are the aspects that take you to the next level.
Give you because look, we want to see how you talk and how you handle yourself and present yourself. Because remember, you want $100,000. How you gonna act if we drop a check in your bank account with $100,000? You gonna go on crack? Are you gonna become a cokehead? We need to know. Are you gonna be some weird guy just blowing all on a boat? Like, you know what I'm saying? So we gotta see
that's all important.
That's why I tell artists. Yeah, that's why I tell artists, yo, you need a character, man, for the folks to trust you. They gotta look at you and be like, all right, well, he's worth putting $2 million on. You know what I'm saying? It's really not about your follower. I know a person that had 10 million followers and she still can't get a record deal.
Oh yeah. And that was another thing. Like, you nailed it too when you said, I'm just highlighting what you said before, you know, because I know Jay Adams, you know what I mean. But it's Jay Adams, but like you said something that was very important that I really preach a lot. That if you can't get $1 from them,
they're not your friends. They might not even be your friends.
They like what you do, but they don't love what you do.
Well, there's a difference. They're not following you physically. They're just watching you from a distance. Like, okay, that was cute. Like, he did that, or that was cool, or that was dope, or he has a new dog, but they don't give a shit, because if they cared about you, they would have spent $1. Like, they would like, I don't know, they would share your shit. Like, yo, Jay is selling this new joint. So then you're like, cool, y'all support me. But then it's like, boom, share my shit. They'd be like 3 shares. You'd be like, what the fuck? Like, why y'all niggas sharing my shit?
Yeah,
like,
man.
What the fuck?
And then people stop to please them. They be like trying to please the people that they know. And it's like, nah, bro, you targeting the wrong group of people. That's not even your target. You know what I mean? Like, having followers is cool. Like, I was telling you about booking. Like, I was telling the booking agent, like, bro, I may have X amount of fucking followers and listeners. Right. And cool, I got it. Cool, couple thousand. But who's to say that a couple thousand or a couple hundred would show up to this one event? And the booking agent was like, he's like, that doesn't matter. That's not like your concern. The whole point is that they look at that to judge if people are going to have a good time. You know what I mean? At the show, the fact that they're engaging to your music online, it shows that people will engage in your music live. And I was like, oh, okay.
See,
I guess
100%, because they're in the convenience of their own setting. So
you get what I mean?
They go and stand up for 3 hours, and you know what I'm saying? They want to sit in their car and bump you, and they just pay. That's why they paid for you, not just stand up in the line and then go inside and stand up for 2 more hours. That's a lot.
Right? Yeah.
That's your super fans that's gonna do that. You know, like a lot of times artists really have to understand. You know, in the business of entertainment, it's really about making money. Like, I tell artists all the time, you know what I'm saying, before you step to me, even about going to an A&R, talking to a label, I'm already gonna tell you the game. If your music ain't popping, if you can't identify 500 fans that'll spend some money with you, if you can't find 30 people that are actually come in this club and buy a ticket to see you, support you, give you some money for a t-shirt. You know, like, labels are not gonna spend money on you when they can't have no proof that somebody else is spending money on you. It's really about the fan base. And a lot of artists, man, they just ignore the fact, you know, and it's really sad because, you know, like, this conversation we're having, and a lot of reason why, you know, on this podcast is so important for me is because this is what you're getting for free. Like, this is free game. You know, you call me a consultation, you know, it's $500 an hour. But at the same time, you can come on this podcast, man, you listen to this show, you get this game. We got somebody on, like a Cali boy who does radio, does the A&R inside, works with the labels. And see, a lot of artists, man, just don't understand, like when he was talking about team. You got to have a team in place to do all of those things that he mentioned. Is every single thing that a label is going to look at. You know, they're going to look at that. You can have 1 million fans, like he said. You could have 1 million followers, but it's how many people is tapping in to what you're doing, man, and supporting you.
Supporting that shit.
Supporting the artist. And that's just the bottom line. Like, you can get in your feelings about it, you can get upset about it, but that's just the really bottom line in this business.
But look, I'm glad to cut you off. I mean, I had a discussion with this guy, and he was like, you know, why don't you bring me in to the label? He was like, you know, I'm the dopest in the valley. And I was like, well, okay, well, you know. So then I look at his followers, and then he was like, you know, you can't go off the followers. But I'm like, it's 3.5 million people in the valley, and you got 8,000 followers. It's like, my nigga, like, you gotta give me more than that. I had to say you're the best in the entire 3.5 million people in the valley. Like, I need a little more than that to go for it within the, you know, 10,000 followers.
You got,
you know, so crazy.
You got DJs like Charlie Cinco.
Hey, they wanted you to believe it. Like, yo, I believe in you, AJ Adams. Hey, motherfucker be like, I believe in you, but you said you the best. And so being the best is like,
we missing some people.
We missing some here. Like,
people.
Like J Adams, I try not to be in that realm to like I know I'm great at something, right? But I always said, let the people say it, man. Let the people say it.
That's what I said. The people tell you what a hit record is. We just think it is, and we believe it and put it out. But it's the people that pay for the money and let you know it's a hit, not us.
Right. It's the people, man. And that's what's so important is the people. The people is what's important.
I'm out of here. But remember when I was telling you earlier? Remember what we was talking about earlier?
Yeah.
How long I take to like come up with a good how to set like 4 or 5 records, but spend over 20 records, 30 records doing that. Right?
Right.
And most people use their own brain in their family to judge these records. Hey man, can you listen to my nah, man? Nah, you can't do that, man. You gotta go out, you gotta get people to listen to these records, man. You gotta get multiple people, you gotta get the grandma, you gotta get the kids, you gotta get, you know what I mean? And you gotta be multiple records because you gotta really build the science of knowing what sells you. And if you don't know what sells you and what can make you grow on all markets, I understand if you may not be as equipped with the tools to be able to get the job done. I understand that.
Right.
But I get that. That's cool. But at least you could be able to write 20 songs and then spend at least 3 months letting people that you meet throughout that 3 months to listen to these songs and see which one hit to them. Right? And a lot of times they end up finding out it'll be the records that they never expected.
Yeah, a lot of records that were hit songs on people's albums, they didn't expect them to be singles and they blew up. You know what I'm saying? It's funny, you know. But yeah, that's it, man. Yeah, you hit the home run.
Yeah, that's
like a lot of artists get upset with me when we have these conversations, you know, and you know, I because I'm close to the labels, I don't have a lot of, you know, I guess we go on some Maury shit now. I don't have a lot of homies. I have more associates and friends because everybody I know is in the business. So everybody I know has a niece or a son, or they used to rap or still rap, or they have a producer or a man, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I can't touch everyone. If I touched everyone, I wouldn't have a job. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you have to be selective on what you do, you know, and who you pick and what you're going to do.
Exactly.
And you can't help everyone. If you help everyone, it's like, you'll be, if you put everybody in front of you, you're 10th now. You know,
exactly.
You have to go and be first, set the platform so you can so you to be the nigga opening the door of the train. If you just own the train and then let people get in the train too, now you're behind 10 niggas and you're like, wait a minute, I was up there. So you know what I'm saying? So you have to be the nigga driving the train to open up the door to let people in the train, not the nigga that's just jumping in the train and then looking and they're like, come on, nigga, come on. You know, my uncle told me this one thing when I was younger and I had to learn. He was like, you know, you hustle so good, but you worry about your friends so much. And I was like, what do you mean? He said, because you be running so fast. It's like you're on a train track and you're trying to catch this train of money and you're getting so close. And right before you reach and grab the thing to jump on the caboose, You hear a homie says, "Hey man, I'm with you," and then you look back and then you slow down and grab his hand and bring him up with you. But the train's leaving further now. Now you guys are running together, but it's like you don't need company.
Right.
You don't need extra niggas to run with you. He's like, get your ass
Hey,
on the
facts,
train.
facts, facts. Yeah, man.
I had to learn that shit.
It's like you try to tell people I tell people all the time. I tell people all the time, man,
Get your
that
ass on the train,
you
right?
gotta.
Right, my nigga.
Oh shit.
And then hey, look, then you get your money. Then you ride your own train back and grab everybody in a group. Like you don't need you don't need 1, 2, 3 niggas at a time. No, you get your own train and then bust a U-turn and then pick everyone up.
You said you reach back to grab your homie, now the train is even further.
Right, hey, but you two niggas is running together. Like he like, thanks, my nigga. You're like, damn, nigga, but we ain't. And then look, he like, yo, oh, my cousin, that's my cousin. Hold up. Now you slowing down a little bit more, and boom, he grabbing your cousin. Now you got 3 niggas running the train further down. You're like, damn.
Hey, yeah, that goes back to what you said though, man. You gotta be selective because see, a lot of times, man, you'll bring people on. And see, I've just learned this, man. I've lost literally millions of dollars with this lesson you just said. A lot of times, man, you'll bring on the wrong people to your situation. You know what I'm saying? Are you trying to bring everybody with you and you'll miss that train? Whether that's opportunity, whether that's money, it all leads in the direction you're going, man. A lot of times you just can't take everybody with you. You know, that's
man.
just the fact of the matter.
A lot of people say money changes people, right? And I start laughing when people say that. I think that's hilarious because they're like, yo, money changes people, man. This person got money and he just changed and he started acting all weird. I was like, no, money doesn't change people. Money brings out who they were before. They were just broke.
Really
and their voice wasn't heard because they were just broke then. So now they got money and now you hear him talking shit. He's an asshole. He was an asshole broke. It just didn't matter.
Right. You know right. As you say, he was already like that. It just didn't matter.
Right, he was already an asshole. He just was broke. So now you got money, and I was in front of your face now. Now you're annoyed. I get it, but that's how it is. The money didn't change him. He was already a jerk.
Right.
It just enhanced his jerkness.
It just enhanced who he was, man. So let's ask you this, man. So when it comes to what you're doing, man, as an A&R, man, what is the best way for artists, managers, man, to approach A&Rs?
With a team, you know what I'm saying, with a legit situation, you know, a whole package, man. You know, you want to go to A&R and you want to show them that, hey, man, I'm ready to take some money, any amount of money, I'm ready. I got a foundation, a team. I'm not gonna fuck off the dough. I'm oh shit, my bad. I'm ready. I got a lawyer. I got an account. You know, I got somebody that, you don't have to be a super registered accountant, but I have a parent or an uncle that's overseeing money. I have a manager. I have an attorney. You know what I'm saying? I got all this stuff going. So that's how it is. You know what I'm saying? And then they see it. Then, like I said, that EPK is very important because it'll have your single. It'll have your single video. It'll have your single playing in the background.
Tell them.
Your single will be playing in the background while you're doing your interviews. You need some footage of you rapping in the sound booth, some action footage of you rapping, some show footage of you on stage, how you perform, a little thing of you sitting in the studio, like talking about your life and where you grew up and your missionary statement, what you trying to do. Like I'm going to do this, I'm going to change the world or whatever it is. It's just, you know what I'm saying? And they are excited. Then you play your motherfucking music video that you already shot. That you on there, and that's 3 minutes to there. So boom, and then you have all that shit, and then you're closing arguments. You're like, listen, give me the bread. I'm about to be the next, whatever it is. You just gotta have that shit documented and ready to go, and just tell them like, listen, I'm the next, man. Like Muhammad Ali did it. I'm the champ. I'm the champ. I keep saying it until I'm the champ. And he said it, and he became the champ. So that's what I'm saying. So, and he wasn't even a champ. Remember, he was just like, I'm the champ. He had no belt.
For real.
But he was telling everybody he was the champ. So yeah, that's how you gotta feel it, man. You gotta have that whole little, and honestly, bro, it's not hard because people hear that and they be like, oh man, that's not a lot, bro. Look, in 2021, Beyonce shot a music video with 6 iPhone 12s or whatever it was. and it got millions and millions of views. So she did it with iPhone. So you can take your iPhone, take 2 iPhones, yours and your girlfriend's, or yours and your homies, and get footage. One nigga, one angle, one nigga, one angle. You know what I'm saying? Like you can get good, clean footage to do a dope EPK, and then have somebody nice and edit it for you. You know what I'm saying?
man.
And get you a logo, and then pay $50 to animate the logo. So you let niggas know you're serious. Your shit goes, you know what I'm saying? Like do some shit like damn. Go on, you can go. Look, I'm gonna give you some game if you already know. Go on Fiverr. Fiverr, nigga, put your logo together for like $25.
Man,
get your game up, man.
Get your game up, man. That's the big thing, man. Is how your presentation. See, back in the day, we was told about the album cover.
Like, that's when I be like, hey, I'm ready for at least about 5. You know what I mean? I ain't talking about 5 M's. I'm just talking about 500. You know what I mean? I know what to do with 5. I know the X amount of interest. I understand the compound. I understand the, you know what I mean? I understand what that's going to accumulate in wealth for them.
Right.
10x.
And
right.
And listen, and the reason why you want to have a company, so they just don't give you a record deal. So they give you a production deal.
Yes. Come on.
So that way they drop all that bread in your pocket instead of feeding you, hand feeding you like chickens and shit. Here's go 30, here's 30, here's 20, here's 25. And why you don't want to have to keep asking? And I'm not trying to be mean here, but you don't want to keep having to call the white man and be on hold.
No,
Can you cut me a check and then waiting 5 to 7 days or to get into your email? You don't who wants to do that shit every time you get low.
This is the best fucking interview. Hey, this is the best fucking interview I've had.
So that's why you have your company. So if you have your LLC and your bank account, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, wherever you at. Boom, they'll electronically drop your bread in there and be like, let's go, production company, because you said you can handle $500,000. You showed us you have a manager, an accountant, a company, a business account.
Come
you
on.
got a studio. Stop it. Let's go. Here's the money. And here's your money. That's how you get it.
That's right.
I'm telling you. Hey, and that's how you keep it locked down. You keep it locked down that way. Like, that's one thing I had to understand. I said, you know what? I want to work like a label. So in order to work like a business, you have to understand the business, right?
Yeah.
And you have to understand that, well, cool. I understand if you get signed as an artist, you now technically is an employee, right? So
amen.
Come on. And then now when you look at
and a better example is because that's your social security, but if you have a company using the tax
come on,
ID,
come on, guys.
Right. You're no longer an employee. You are an owner.
Right. And those are the things that because it's a separate entity, right?
Exactly.
You sign the artist to the company. Now, the company who wants to be part of that artist, they have to do a business with the entity that's over that artist. Or they have to do a big ass buyout. Right? That's the only two ways. In most fucking labels don't do that. Especially if the artist already got records out there, he's already doing 500,000 streams or whatever. You know what I mean? They're not going to buy them out because there's too much in publishing. They got to buy into all the records that was in publishing.
It's hard. Yeah, it's hard to get a record deal nowadays too. That's what it is, man. It's hard, man.
So they're not gonna do that. So why would you even, like you said, it's have a business and get a production deal? Then it's, you know what I mean? It's a lot more feasible. Less risk.
The main reason is you have all the control.
Yeah, you have more control.
And you have the money. That's the main thing. You want the money. Now you can do whatever the fuck you want to do it. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. Record labels, we fluff the pot. We give you 500,000. We know goddamn well it ain't gonna cost you no $500,000 to do 12 fucking songs in your own studio that you produce, and the homies they came and did special invites on your shit. Stop it. The most you probably gonna spend on your album, honestly, is about maybe 100 racks because you wanted to get a nigga like Ice Cube or Drake or you know what I'm saying? Like you wanted somebody. Drake did it for 50 grand because
that's exactly. Hey, check. That's exactly where it'll be going. It'll be going investment back into the business. Like, because I understand. Look, I understand artists is like stock, right? So if you now
your stock is high, hey, that's for our show, man. Hey, write all this down for our show. We're gonna put together, all three of us, talk about the prehistorics and shit and all that stuff.
Right.
The archaeologists of hip hop.
The archaeology of hip hop. Hey, no, but that's facts. Yeah, man.
That's a dope show.
Like, that's how I look at it. Artists have to understand that. You have to understand that game. Once you understand the game of just knowing where you're at and knowing how to, okay, I need to work like a business. I can't, you know what I mean? You could become your own investor. If you have, I tell artists too, like, bro, yes, I rap, I do artistry, and I do all of those things. But honestly, bro, you can become your own investor. You don't really need a label until you get to that point. You can become your own investor. You got a fucking job, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You know what I mean? Take 25% of that money, invest it into the business, but only invest it into shit that's gonna make money.
Exactly.
Perfect. I said that in my book. Before we go, I want to talk about my book. It's about the music industry, and I call it the music industry Bible. How to not get screwed. You know what I'm saying? And it's dope because I say shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I teach you how to get out of contracts. I teach you what your contract is supposed to look like. I teach you how to get out of your depression as an artist. I teach you a lot of things in there. But yeah, it's really dope, man. It's on Amazon and Barnes and Noble's Kindle.
Okay.
You know, it's only $10 and $15 for it's $10 on Kindle.
What's the name of it again?
The Music Industry Bible. How to not get screwed.
Yeah.
And I think I sent you a picture of. There you go, right there.
Yeah, we got it. Yep, there it is, right there.
Yeah. So you know what I'm saying. So yeah, man, and that shit teaches everything. I have the stories about with me and Michael Jackson, and you know when I lived with Shaq, and how I learned how to to hustle with a team and how to keep your team, the squad together. Because I was with Twism back in the day when Shaq was with the Lakers. I was part of that entourage, and it was pretty dope. It was really cool watching the show Entourage when I was with Shaq. I was like, I'm living this life. It was pretty funny.
You know what's crazy? Honestly, that's one of my favorite shows. I believe people are going to make, like, I'm going to have the Black Entourage. Like, they're going to.
Oh my God, I was just thinking about that shit the other day, bro. That is so crazy. The gods have just connected. I was just thinking about that shit. You know, I'm talking to you off. I got a situation with Netflix, so I'm gonna talk to you off camera. But yeah, man, I was just thinking about that. Like, we need a black dude. But Kevin Hart tried to do it with Netflix, but it wasn't that good.
Mine would be much.
His was fun, and the Entourage was fun. The one Kevin Hart did was sad. Right?
No, mine would be wild. Yeah, mine would be wild because I'll give you a little insight before we go off camera. Mine would be wild because of, like, I toured so much throughout the country, right? And after like internationally, then coming up in foster care. And then, you know what I mean, having a mom who's like on drugs and prostitution and shit like that. My pops committed suicide. Like, and then having my own.
We need to do your documentary, my nigga. Damn.
But we end up doing then I end up kind of teaming up with a couple guys, right? You know what I mean? Like, my crew is like a little crew that I've always had throughout my life. Like, I don't give a fuck what happens. It's like the Entourage, you know what I mean? Yeah. It was crazy because I'll be going to these, like, on sets, right? I'll be going to, like, the BET set, right? Or I'll be doing something with Fox, right? And I'm playing drums. And it'd be like the smoke and the fog and all of this, like, ooh, over there. And it'd be all the homies there, like, anybody, the three of us. So I got my cousin, it's my cousin, my best friend, and my brother. You know what I mean? And, like, it's the funniest, bro. With this crazy life, partying crazy, going on burnt missions. You're like, bro, it's like I would say it would be Entourage and
rap life, the rap tour life.
Well, yeah. Well, no. This is rock. This is like indie rock band type shit.
Well,
this
is different. The entertainment life, the music life instead of the acting life.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah, it's gonna fuck up the industry because it's like it's gonna be a total different way because it's more like I did the acting and the what you call that, like commercials and shit, but I was a touring musician. I did a lot so it was plus having a lifestyle where anyway. But I've seen and I've been on. I'm still young and I'm still like, you know what I mean? So Absolutely. It will kind of be like a sped up till today or some shit. But yeah, man, like I always wanted to do the Black Entourage, and
there it is. That's next. So we're gonna talk about it after this. Hopefully, whoever's watching this, they'll be like, "Hey, man." Start running their mouth and shit. You know, my boy always told me, he said, when you think of something dope, say it one time, but that's it. And I was like, why? He said, because when you say it the second time, it's in the atmosphere. And I was like, damn. And somebody in fucking France would be like,
I think
black entourage. It'll pop in there, and they snatched it from the
hey,
atmosphere.
hey, you know what they gonna do too? I can tell you. Look, they gonna find some little fucking cookie cutter suburban little dude. They're gonna match it off entourage. And I'm not even talking about like this is a different version of it. Yeah, this is a different it's a different vibe. But yeah, man, I think it'll be dope, man. That's super dope, man. And it's dope that you like that you have that experience and you've been through that, man. Cause like
it was crazy, man. I was there for all 3 championships. I was there when we celebrated. I was on the jet flying back. I was with, Kobe. Kobe asked me to write some shit, and Shaq was like, "Nah, that nigga's with me." It's so funny. Kobe wanted me to write some shit for him for so long, but Shaq wouldn't let me and shit. It's so funny. But anyway, I mean, that's some old shit. That's in my book too. I said my book is funny, man. It's 100 pages. It's a quick read. I got stories with Michael Jackson when he first met me. My name was Dirty Rat. Right, and then when I was rapping, so he was like, "Oh my God, I love your name, Dirty Rat." So the nigga called me Dirty Rat, nigga, for like 2 hours in his mansion. I'm like, "Oh my God, can you stop saying?" He's like, "Dirty Rat, Dirty Rat." It was so funny. Like imagine Michael Jackson saying my name. But anyway, yeah, it was a crazy ass vibe and shit. And the nigga know how to play basketball too. I was like, what the fuck? But anyway,
yeah. I'm a big Kobe fan though. I'm a big Kobe fan.
Nigga, man. Me and Kobe were tight, man. He signed the ball. He signed like with his first rookie. He gave me a rookie ball. He signed for me. I have it in glass at home and shit. And then he signed 3 of my jerseys and shit. And he used to talk to me about hunger to be the best and how that he used to always say, man, you gotta want it, man. He said most people don't want it. I want it. He said I want 7 championships. He was like, nigga, nigga, I want 7. And I'm like, 7? What is 7? What's that 7 number? He was like, nigga, I need one more than Jordan, nigga. That's why I'm 24. He's 23. I'm 24, nigga. I need 7 trophies because I want to be one more than Jake. That's my idol. And I'm like, wow. So a nigga that was driven, but so
that's
to the
me.
point for him to not make it and be hurt by injuries, that when he tore that Achilles, it was over. Because when you remember Achilles, the nigga named Achilles, he lost the war because of the Achilles. So you can't expect Kobe to come back from an Achilles when the nigga lost a whole war with an Achilles.
I say that too. I say that with Phil Collins. Phil Collins is like I need to be one more than Phil, like, because he's
but he's kind of with Phil Collins, the singer.
Yeah, the drummer, singer, the
singer, right? That one, right? That's Phil Collins, right? The singer too, right?
Right, he's
the old school singer,
okay.
drummer.
Yeah. So that song of him, it's kind of strange, right? That one song he watched a man drown. That was crazy, right?
Yeah.
But because he was too far away to help him, but he watched him drown. That's ill. And then wrote a song about it. That's a fucking ill shit. Like I'm in a boat and I'm doing my thing on vacation. You're doing your thing, but then you're drowning. I'm too far from you. So I watch you drown. Is that a crime? Is that a crime? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. If you watch a man drown, you didn't do anything. And then write a song about it. That's fucking, it's crazy. I love that record, but I'm just like, damn, that nigga said I saw a nigga die. Like, fuck.
Yeah, Phil Collins and like I can't even say like Dre. Like most people say Dre. Most people would say like, when you think of like global top acts or global top producers acts, you know what I mean?
Dr. J, Timberland, Pharrell, Puff Daddy, what's my man Visible on the Beat? He's getting up there now because he is knocking them out. You know what I'm saying? Oh boy, YG's producer. I can't remember his name offhand right now. He just got divorced and shit. What's that nigga?
Oh, DJ Mustard. Yeah.
That nigga is making a name. He's been busting niggas in the face since 2016. People don't understand the hits that he was doing until he started doing hits for his own artists, like what's his name, Bobby and all these niggas. he's about 6 years strong right now, so he's making his name too. But yeah, the icons like he said, the Dre's, the Timberlands, the Pharrells, the
Yeah.
the Manny Freshes. Remember, because Manny Fresh had a 10-year run for Cash Money.
And Timbo.
Timberland, yeah. Yeah, Timberland, Aaliyah.
I'm talking about people like, people who crack the mold, Danger Mouse.
Puffy too. Puffy, man.
Yeah,
I know Puffy had his thing. Puffy.
I don't get me wrong.
Look, Jay. Everybody do this when I say Puffy. Why everybody do this? They do it. I like him, but I'm not finna give him that much props.
I mean, look, Jay Adams know me. I'm a guy that's like, I don't mind the sampling. I don't mind the taking,
somebody had to do it, my nigga.
Right,
somebody had to do it.
Right. It's like Cali, right? Right. It's like
he's the new Cali. What does he do? Cali is the new him.
Right, exactly. So most people like, what does he do?
Hey, check us out. I always tell this, and I'm not being mean, but what did Kim Kardashian do? She was just laid. She had one sex tape that was 18 minutes. She sucked some dick, fucked, laid on her back, and now she's worth $1 billion. Like, that's crazy. Like, what is actually I'm not hating, I'm just saying facts. What is the talent of the Kardashians? What is the actual talent of the Kardashians? Just tell me one thing that they do that's talented to be rich.
Hey man, they specialize in what MTV created. We can't be mad at that. Reality TV.
I'm just saying facts. There's no talent there. So she sucked some dick. Though the best part of that is when Ray J was about to bust a nut, she said, "Where do you want me to put it? Put it all over my face." No, Ray J said, "Where do you want me to put it?" And she said, "Put it in my face." And that made her a star.
It's crazy.
That's my age. Like, stop it. You tell me. Nobody gave a fuck about that shit until he was like, she was like, "Where do you want me to put it? In my face? I'm gonna put it on some shit." Everybody was like, "Yeah, we're gonna fucking download it." And then there it is. You feel what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is that I love the Kardashians. My girl watches it. My girl actually work. I hope she don't get fired because she worked for fucking Carly and shit, fucking. But anyway, all I'm saying is that there's no talent. So today, it is not hard to be rich. That's why I look at these people today and be like, "What do you mean? Why are you broke?" Like, I mean, you can be like hustling day to day, but why are you like, "I'm broke"? Like, nigga, do you know how many avenues there is to make $2?
It's too easy.
It gave these kids so many avenues. You feel me? So that's all I'm saying.
So many avenues. Talk about it, man.
Earlier of a guy, a dude asking about it. He's like, "Yo, man, you remember that production that you did?" I was like, "Yeah, it was a dope record." He's like, "But I just want to let you know that can we work out some, man? I really need some. I was like,
"Hey, man,
there's any other ways to make dough?"
I don't know how much time we have, but let me tell you something. I tell artists all the time when they come to my office, I say, "Look, bro." They come in, they say, "Man, I need this. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm broke. I'm hustling in the streets, blah, blah, blah. I need this situation to work, blah, blah, blah." And I look at them and I'm like, "Listen, you don't need this. You want this, okay? Because God gives every nigga what they need. He gives you a house, gives you a car, a job, or a way to make money, a phone, internet, food every day, gas. So you move around. God supplies every artist what they need, okay? Everything else is what you want. You want a bitch with bigger titties or a smaller waist and $1 million in the bank. You want to be a famous rap star. You want a fast car with a big muffler. That's everything that you want. You got to go get what you want. God ain't going to give you what you want. God going to give you what you need. And once you understand this is what you got, artists come out and say, "I'm broke, blah, blah, blah." Like, nigga, you have on Gucci, you have $200 pants on with cuts and slices in them. You're wearing Jordans. You got a Gucci bag. You have a diamond watch on, 3 chains, an iPhone in your hand, in a bag with an iPad. telling me you're broke. Like, stop, nigga. I'm just saying, like, you're not broke. So
You're not
what you
broke. Stop it.
you feel me?
Stop
So
it.
I'm just saying. So appreciate what you have. You know what I'm saying? And then go from there. That's all I'm saying. Like, you have all these good things. So just always appreciate what you have. So stay humble and then go for what you have. But just remember, God always gives you what you need. You don't need to be rich. You want to be rich. Don't be money driven. Just want the money. Don't need it. You feel me?
Yeah.
Because if
Make
you
the
really
money.
think
Don't
about
let
your
the
life,
money make you. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
because
Get up,
if you think
hustle,
about it, your life
grind,
is
work.
already,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
If you think about it, your life is already set, like not set, but you're already normal. You got a house, Wi-Fi, food, this and that, phone. So you're already good to make it. Now you have to do the extra to get it. And that's where the conflict comes between people. That extra part.
Yeah, but okay, let's talk about a little bit. But okay, when you think about the extra part, man, don't you think since the emergence of reality TV, like going all the way back to MTV, it's kind of like the culture has kind of like pushed it in that way, bro. You know, I mean, we got to be honest with that. It's like, what do they mostly put on? You know what I'm saying? And like when reality TV started and whatnot, I mean, when you're pushing the culture towards the money, the houses, the cars, your status, the celebrity, like
Everybody wants to look like that and get it, right?
exactly. Everybody wants to look like that and get it. So it's kind of like getting back to what you said, like just having a heart and having a love for it. Like I was telling my publicist yesterday with this BET thing we got, you know, I knew it was gonna get big, but it's growing so much bigger. But the reason I'm having so much fun producing this event, not mentioning all the people that I'm meeting behind it, but I'm having so much fun because when I came up with this 50-year celebration of hip hop, it wasn't even about the money. Initially, the event was to raise money, to fundraise money to help these kids out in the city of Compton. So it's almost like having the love for what you do is kind of what I'm seeing dissipate from the business. It's all about, like you've been saying, bro. It's all about the money. We gotta
Yeah.
find a way to reverse that train, I guess, in a sense, because it's just like now
We get back to the
it's
culture.
it's so out of control in the culture, man. You know what I mean? So it's like conversations, conversations like this is kind of like it's so important, man. It's so dope to even have these kind of conversations, man. Just simply because getting back to the business of having your own, learning how to promote your own, learning how to build your own. And so many artists have just lost that element, like, you know, creating events to make money, to put into your own business, creating events to make money, to put into your own marketing, to put into having the money to hire a publicist. Most artists I talk to, man, they don't even know what having a publicist means. They don't even know it's different kinds of publicists. They don't even know that different
Right.
publicists are good at different things. You got red card publicists, you got magazine publicists, you got publicists that are good with television networks,
There's
publicists that are
levels.
good at sponsorships. Not everybody does great at everything, knowing what you really need versus what you don't need right now, when you need it, how to make the move, how to put your team together, man. All of that stuff is so much important. But the biggest thing for me, man, is figuring out in this business, you know, how to network and meet the right people and get the right team and get the right bag, you know.
Man, I say all that you said is in my book, my nigga. It is so
That's
crazy. And
deep, man.
I didn't write this book to get rich. I wrote this book to give artists so they can understand what's going on, because I noticed that the same shit in the 90s that I was seeing as an artist and now as an executive is still happening. And artists is not familiar and understanding what not to do, because, you know, and I'll be honest, one of the reasons why I wrote this book is because of Megan. Is because of Megan Thee Stallion. Like, not because of her, but just watching her story, how she, you know, she was signed to that production company, and then they hustled for like 3 or 4 years, and then she finally blew up, and then they went and signed, got a major deal, and then boom, and then she sold, I guess, 3-4 million, and I guess 30-40 million came, and she only got like 10%, and she was upset
Dang.
because this and that. She bashed all the labels and, you know, production company, the major label. It
It
just went
got
through this
ugly.
little nasty thing, you know. It was a
Yeah.
nasty situation, but she didn't realize that, you know, some artists don't realize when you sign to a production company and you split 50-50 with them, So that's a good deal, right? So then you guys put some music out and you wait for a buzz. Now, when you create a buzz and boom, everybody's loving it, you making some money, you feeling good. Now, Sony or whoever calls you up, Jackbone Records. Jackbone Records is like, yo, what's up, Jay Adams? Let's say you and your boy. Listen, we'll say you and your boy. Just get an example. So you put an album out, and you and your boy down there, he signed you. You put your shit out. Everybody's loving Jay Adams now. So then I come at you from Boogie Down Records. So you and your boy, I'm at Boogie Down Records. You and your boy signed a 50-50 deals with each other, right? So now Boogie Down Records wants to get in the mix. Now you got to understand that Boogie Down Records gonna want 50% because they're about to spend the money behind you. So now you got to give up 50%. So what does that do to your percentage? Knocks it down to 25. You feel me? So then after paying your producers and your writers and your video and paying back the label and your taxes and then your entourage and then your family members, you're looking at what she was looking at. And she was upset about that because, out of 30 million, she got 10%, and there's 27 million on the table, but that was between the label and the other label, Film and Saying and whatever. So that's what I'm saying. It's things you learn. It's in my book, man. I tell a story about that and how to get out of a bad contract, what a bad contract looks like. I got all that shit in there. It's dope, man. It's under $20, so shit, you can get your joint, man. It's under a dub, man. You spend a dub on some bullshit every week, so you might as well get this book. And then, let people know that, and people that will need it though, young artists. I've been getting we're almost at a bestseller and shit. So it's been out for 3 months now. We're doing pretty good. We're moving forward. Yeah, I'm almost there, man. I gotta say, I'm halfway to a bestseller. So I'll be honest. So yeah, and we're just doing it, man. I just want artists to be able to read and learn what to do and what not to do, and so that way they don't fall victim to some shit and be mad because.
So yeah, we gonna write a but that's what I was getting to, man. It's crazy. Me and my publicist thinking like, man, Erica Lane said that's what she deserved because she signed that deal. And at that time, it sounded good to her and she probably needed the money. That's what I wanted to get to you about. Hopefully we can write another book together. And it's like what a lot of artists don't understand is the point that Erica just made. A lot of times when a label finds you, right? Like I've had many artists that when I found them, I still got how they first pictures looked, how they first videos looked when I got them. How they songs sounded when I got them, how they production sounded when I got them. Because I'm a historian, right? So I got all that shit in my emails, right? So now, 2 years later, you look in a certain way. You pop it on social media. Your music sound better. Your videos look better. When I made that happen, I increased your value as an artist. I increased your value. So I understand economics because, a hustler, a gangster did go to school and get a little education. So with my little education, now it's supply and demand. See, what a lot of artists don't understand is when you need that money and you in that situation and you're not popping like that. You got some music, you got some songs, but it was your team that now made the value. And that's the big thing about getting books like this, man. The Music Industry Bible. When I was an artist, it was all about Kashif's book, everything you better know about the music business from an artist standpoint. And it was all about Donald Passman's book, everything you need to know about the music business from a lawyer standpoint. So now we'll add your book to it, the Music Industry Bible. These are all the books that I tell artists they need to read and understand the business because you can't be mad when your team helps you pop. Your team, now you pop in here, you looking better, your wardrobe is better, you hitting red carpets now. And then once that music pops, see, that was just a nasty situation that I just was wishing that, man, I wish somebody would have told her the game beforehand so she would have expected that. Like, you shouldn't have been shocked by that. See, a lot of artists feel like, okay, I'm popping now. I've seen this situation a million times with artists, bro. That's why I archive everything. In business, I've just learned this as a marketing director, just doing marketing since 2003. When somebody hires me for marketing or wants to consult with me for marketing, part of my research and development what I don't tell the client, you're gonna get it now. If you're watching the West Coast Heavies TV podcast on the Biz Entertainment Network, you're gonna get live and direct talking to my boy Cali Boy. What I never exposed, I'm exposing it now. Because one of the main things that I do is I identify your SWOT analysis. And I ain't gonna tell you what that is. You know, you can get that exclusive content if you become a member. But if you know what a SWOT analysis is, good. If you don't, go Google it. But what I do is, man, I keep that in my head. So when I identify who you are, what you're doing, why you're doing it, how you're doing it, and I identify where you are as an artist or where you are as a business, and I archive that, man, because a lot of times artists and businesses, people, period, man, have a short-term memory. They forget what you did for them. And a lot of times, if you would take the time to read books like this, the music industry bio, if you would take time to read books like this, then you would understand this is what I need a team for. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to eventually have to pay this team. This team is going to have to get paid. It ain't free that this team is doing this for me. It ain't free that this label is putting all this money behind me to push me even further. You know what I'm saying? It's going to cost. You got to pay the cost to be the boss. So, man, it's analogy. Like you
hey, look,
go ahead, brother.
But look, with that, I'm just not to cut you off with that analogy. In my book, I say something exactly what you say. Listen, you have to have a team. Tom Brady has 7 Super Bowls, but he can't get them by himself. He has 5 fat niggas blocking for him. He's got 3 wide receivers and a tight end running deep for him, and everybody got to catch the ball. The offensive coordinator got to call the play. The head coach tells the offensive coordinator what to do. Tom Brady tells the team what to do. Everybody does what they do. They catch the ball, score a touchdown, and win the Super Bowl. Like, it's not going to work if you just want to be selfish. Michael Jordan said it in his documentary. His first 4 years, he wanted to score the most points. But then he realized, like, shit, I can't score 100 points every game. I have to I need help.
I need help. I need help, man. And see, that's the crazy thing that it's just great, man, having this conversation, bro. We're going to continue this conversation. And I like to have these conversations every now and again because it's so major for artists to understand that, man, that you got to have a team. Your team has got to be paid. You got to keep people happy. You know, a multi-millionaire told me 2 weeks ago in an entertainment, in a meeting where I was doing with this network. It's this bit network that I work for. And we were having a meeting, and one biggest thing he was telling me, man, was so major. This is like a 67-year-old man, you know, giving me like entertainment game. He was just like, Jay, one of the biggest things you could do is make your team money. You know what I'm saying? Showing people how you're making money and how you're going to increase on that money. And that's one of the biggest things that I practice in my life. Like, that's why I feel like this BT thing is going so big because I'm more concerned about my team eating first. I'm gonna eat regardless. You know what I'm saying? That's just the mentality I got. But I'm always focused on feeding my team and making sure that my team is happy because I've always believed in if your team is happy, if your team is eating, you know what I'm saying, you take care of your team is gonna take care of you. And I've always believed that,
it's not a lot of us though. It's not a lot of us like that. You know what I'm saying?
Not a lot of us like that.
And I praise you for that. I appreciate you for being that type of human as well, because, you know, it's not a lot of us want people to succeed. That's one of the reasons why I write songs. You know, it was funny when I stopped rapping and I started writing, and I wrote a song for an artist, and they were performing it. She was on stage and performing it at a award or whatever show, and she was performing. I was backstage looking, and I looked at her singing, and I looked at her family backstage, and I looked at the crowd and her manager, and I was like, wow, this feels better than just rapping on stage.
Right.
And then that's when I knew that, okay, my gift from God was to write. You know what I'm saying? Because it felt better to write for people than to just be on stage. Because, you know, I felt like, you know, rappers, to rap on stage, basically you're like this, buy my album, buy my album, buy my album, buy my album. I'm the best, so buy my album, buy my album. That's what I thought rapper was gonna be. You know, that's all you rappers on stage is buy my album, I'm the best, I look the best, I smell the best, I buy my album and buy my album. So I was just like, you know what, that's all rappers are doing lately, just on stage telling you to buy their album. But it
Hey.
felt better to watch someone on stage
Hey.
sing, and I was like, wow, it feels really good. And then when she was done, everybody clapped. She was happy, crying, her family. You know, so it felt better than just being on stage telling people to buy my album and shit. That's so
Right. So one last thing, man, before we let you go, man, and I get into my last promo credits and thank yous, man. We really want to appreciate you coming on the show.
We got a video back here. We got a video here.
We got to get to the video, man. One thing that we didn't do earlier is we didn't tap into the video, man, of the documentary. We really want to thank you for this documentary you did, bro. So
I sent you the trailer, right? You want to play the 2-minute trailer?
Yeah, we're gonna play the 2-minute trailer, man. That's one thing we want to get into. We want to get into that trailer.
Kill it with the trailer.
Yeah, man.
We can end with the trailer also if you want to.
Yeah, we can do that, man. So before we end, I just want everybody to tap into what we got going on. Record labels, sponsors, looking for your artists, man. BET 2023, West Coast Heavies, Erica Lane, my publicist, man, and my partner for the BET Awards. We're doing the 50 years of hip hop. Our gifting lounge is gonna be hot at the Mayfair Hotel. Shout out to Marshall Entertainment. Shout out to Just Thiz and Records. Shout out to Thiz Entertainment. Shout out to the whole family, man. So reach out to my publicist. We also got our event that's going up, man. Another fundraising event we're doing, man. You can tap in with me for that. Where it's at. That's gonna be an awesome event going down in Long Beach. It's gonna be every Sunday. So I'll be talking more about that too, man. So tap in with us, man. The West Coast Heavies TV podcast on the Biz Entertainment Network. Like, share, and subscribe, man. This is where everybody can share what they're doing, man. This is nothing but major entertainment, major business going on.
Boy,
you're with Cali Boy, man, and he's gonna be coming back. He got his book.
I just want to say something, man. I love you cats, man, already, man. You guys are great, man. I love the energy and shit. So whatever y'all got going on, just send me a text, dubs up. Whatever y'all got going on, send me a text, man, and I'll be there, man, and I'll fuck with y'all. If y'all want to do something, I like the energy that y'all building and shit, and your boy that comes in and out.
Salute, brother.
You know
appreciate that.
We're gonna chop, man. We're gonna chop, man. Yes, stick around.
Yeah, we appreciate that, man.
Take you off the screen. I may take you off the screen just so he can end the show, but you know what I mean?
I want to say one thing before we end the show, man. Listen, the Dubs Up documentary, like I said, West Coast started rap, East Coast started hip hop. That's a fact. So that's how I'm moving with the shit. It comes out July on Netflix. Dubs Up. So just we'll look for that. The book is available right now. Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, Kindle, Apple Books. Get your joint. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, everybody needs. You can get it for somebody for their birthday. Or if they just want to, they're young and they want to get in the game and they're 12, 6, 13, 14, it's a good read. So it teaches you everything, especially depression, because a lot of artists go through depression because they feel like they're not going to make it and they want to give up. And you shouldn't give up, because I know a 65-year-old guy that never gave up, and he would wind up writing a song for a rock and roll band and becoming successful. So I'm not saying that it's going to take you till you're 65, but that's a true story. You feel me? So all I'm saying is that your time will come. And I truly believe that when you're born, God says, okay, Jay Adams, he writes down, this nigga gonna do this, and then this is gonna be his expiration date. He's gonna accomplish all these things, and he closed the books and puts it on the shelf when we're born. So I think our lives are already written. We just have to perform them. You dig?
Hey, man, that's so important, man. And I'm grabbing that book because I got a 11-year-old rap artist in my house, man. My youngest, my junior, man. I'm gonna get that book for him, and I really want him to tap into that. And I've already
when I see you, I'll sign it for him.
Hey, man. Hey, salute on that, man. And speaking of my son, man, I already got 2 more questions, man, for your next interview, bro. So we gonna have you back because I want to talk more about that book. I just wrote down 2 more questions that I really want to talk about because there's something funny that my son did and it was really interesting. So that gives y'all something to look forward to. Y'all gonna want to tune in next time when I promote. Tell y'all I got Cali Boy on. So when we bring Cali Boy back, I got 2 subjects, man, we're gonna be talking about. So once again, man, Cali Boy, we appreciate you, bro. Hang around, don't go nowhere. And We're gonna be tapping in, man. So let's get this new record, man.
Yeah, watch this Dubs Up trailer.
Yeah, watch this trailer, y'all.
What do you know about hip hop? Number one music genre on planet Earth. Who were the first rappers? Where did it all begin? East Coast, NYC, the Bronx. What if everything you thought you knew about the history of hip hop and how it all got started was wrong? What if hip hop didn't start on the East Coast? It actually started on the West Coast. What would it mean? How would you feel? Would you really want to know? Could you handle the truth? This explosive documentary will explain the origins of West Coast hip-hop. We'll be hearing true stories from some of the legends who were there as they reveal new facts from the history books to show that not only did the graffiti artists and b-boys called boogaloo dancers already establish a culture on the West Coast by the early 1960s, but the first rap group to record a record was from Watts, California. And this is where our story begins. Dubs Up. Hosted by the Kingpins, Cali Boy and your boy Supreme Inc. Featured interviews, Alonzo Williams from the Wrecking Crew, Chris the Glove Taylor, DJ Battlecat, Sir Jinx from the Lynch Mob, Rodney O of Rodney O and Joe Cooley, Mellow Man Ace, Daryl D.P. Pierce from the LA Posse, and DJ Dangerous D from the West Coast Crew. Guest narration, King T and West Coast Cam from Watts. This is one story you don't want to miss.